100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello, and welcome into the show, everybody. Fun one planned out for you today. I got a Lions trade to go over here momentarily. I think the fans will understand it, but first reaction, you're going to be pissed off. It's not my trade, though. We're stealing it from NFL.com. I just caught my interest. That's coming up. Tigers offense, oh my God. We're 6 games in, so it is still a little bit of an overreaction, but they are dead last in a very important offensive category, and they've been shut out twice now. No other team has been shut out more than once. Tough start for the Tigs. They're 2-4. Day off today. We'll get into the Michigan Final Four game as well, because they've got this really interesting history in Final Four games, and now they're going up against what looks like an unbeatable opponent in Arizona. Obviously, Michigan has looked unbeatable all year. This is an awesome matchup that we have Saturday night. Before we get into any of that, Dillon Clark, voice of the Saginaw Spirit, is here with us in studio as the Spirit unfortunately find themselves down 0-3 in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, first of all, good morning. Happy opening day eve.
Thank you
to all who celebrate here in Loons country. But yeah, it's I don't know. You're never happy about being down in a 3-game to none hole, but that being said, out of all the ways that it could happen, you look back at the series so far, there's probably more to be happy about or pleased about or proud of here in the first 3 games of this series than any other series that's gone to this point, at least that I've been a part of, right? Like, it's been a couple of years, but I look back 3 years ago, we were down in the second round, ended up getting swept by the Sarnia Sting, and that was just, that there was just 2 teams on completely different levels there, and you knew what was coming. I mean, this series so far, they had 3 different leads in Game 1, had a lead in the third period in that game, were tied into the third period in Game 2, and then lost Game 3 in overtime 2 nights ago. This is a Ranger team that I think a lot of people were kind of expecting to smack Saginaw around for lack of a better term, but this team's been right there with them, and I don't know. We had a fantastic night on Tuesday. It just couldn't get things to fall our way in overtime. It's been a great series so far, though.
The general consensus, right, is hey, it's a 1-8 matchup, so it's a lot of people expect it to go this way, but a lot of people are giving the Spirit credit for hanging in there against the 1 seed that's been the best team in the league all year.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's right now for us, it's one line doing a lot of the lifting and some really strong goaltending performances. Mm-hmm. So, this is kind of how my feeling is anytime I go on and talk about it anywhere. It's all about how you look at it. Like, on the one hand, yeah, their top line is carrying them right now. Their top defensive pair carrying them right now. They got a historic goaltending performance from Stepan Shurigan in Game 3, 50 saves. That's just the 4th time a Spirit goaltender's made that many saves in a playoff game. But, you flip that on its head and say, okay, those have been the consistents throughout the series. You know that you're probably going to get something similar. I don't know if you're going to get that kind of a lights-out performance from Shurigan again here in Game 4, but he's been able to be that rock for you. Same deal with the top guys, Zhilkin, Barabanov, Klepov, James Go, and Levi Harper. If they can get some middle six scoring, if they can get somebody else to kind of break through and for the luck to kind of change, I mean, that's where we see the series really shift, because right now the only player that isn't out of the top line of the top defensive pairing to register a point in this series is Bodie Stewart. He scored in Game 3 2 nights ago. So if that changes here in Game 4, everything else staying the same, that's where things could start to turn around and head in a different direction. If there's any team in the OHL that knows about the reverse sweep, blowing a 3-game-to-none lead. It's Kitchener because they did it to Windsor 2 years ago. Or they did it to Windsor last year in the playoffs in the second round. They were down 3-0, came back and won Game 7 in overtime in Windsor. So it's been done 6 times in our league. It's always a long shot, but every single time that it's happened, it started with Game 4, and that's what we got here tonight.
In the Dow Event Center, tickets are available still, right? Online right now?
Yeah, we still got some tickets available, SaginawSpirit.com. Great atmosphere in Game 3, man.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Fantastic. I've been waiting for that. I know the guys have been waiting for that for a long time. Just our fans have a way of kind of knowing when the energy is shifting in a game. All the Let's Go Spirit chants kind of breaking out, and that when that place gets loud, that place gets really loud. I mean, there's no better place to be than at the Dow Event Center during the playoff run. So I'm looking forward to that again here tonight, and we do have tickets available at the moment. So we'll keep moving on that.
So throughout the course of the season, we've talked about the common theme is, hey, this team's competitive. Maybe they have a ceiling. They end up getting into the playoffs, but nonetheless, they're one of the younger teams in the league, right? So even if this ends up being a sweep. With the game tonight, Game 4, pretty valuable experience for everybody involved, right?
Yeah, valuable experience for sure, no matter what. But at the same time, that I think that value doubles the second you win a game here in this series.
Okay.
Because again, I mean, like, is it a long shot? I can talk about. Yeah, it's possible to come back from being down 3-0. It's not likely. Like I said, it's only happened 6 times in our league, but it is possible. So even if you get that Game 1 win or Game 4 win, like. Our series right now has been really tight. The Flint Firebirds just swept Owen Sound in the first round. They won Game 4 6-1 last night. They outscored Owen Sound 35-3 in that series.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So, and that's not to beat up on Owen Sound, but the point is, like, things could be going very differently right now. And the attack kind of realized, all right, we're outmatched, we're outgunned here. And again, without being in that dressing room, I'd say they probably rolled over at one point or another. For this Spirit team, for these young guys, how important is it to be able to say, okay, we didn't roll over in Game 4? Like, we've been with them every step of the way here in this series, and we are playing much closer to an OHL championship favorite team than anybody had given us credit for going into this series. So for those guys to be able to look around and say, we're not rolling over here in Game 4, to steal a game or to squeeze one out here at the end, I would say that would do wonders and go further for the young group here, the guys coming back next year, which is almost everybody. That would go so much further for them than anything else. Because again, a series win, is it on the table? Absolutely. Like, it's not done until it's done. But there's a big difference between saying, all right, we got a game here in Game 4, and saying, okay, well, this one just wasn't our time.
I think there's something working in your guys' favor, though, with the schedule. The fact that there's back-to-back today and tomorrow with a little bit of travel. It's like you win today, and all of a sudden, 24-hour turnarounds. If you guys have the momentum and all of a sudden you're feeling like you have some life, that's a dangerous mindset to have for the opponent.
That's true.
If you can win tonight, all of a sudden you kind of just start to be able to talk yourself into anything with a 24-hour turnaround. Not a lot of time for Kitchener to kind of rebound from that. And then all of a sudden it's 3-2 and who knows?
Yeah, well, and that's a good point. Because to be honest, when the schedule came out and as we've gotten closer to it, I kind of groaned at that scheduling of it. Like, all right, well, if we get a win in Game 4, we got to go to Kitchener, play a back-to-back that ends up in their building. But
at that point, you got nothing to lose.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, that's like anything else. It's how you look at it. And, I think like anything else, when you're up against it, start small. Put the blinders on. Nothing beyond the first 2 minutes of the game, of Game 4 matters. You have to force yourself to think almost uncomfortably and almost unreasonably small. Like, you have to ignore the circumstances surrounding your situation. Like, you've got to put it. Yeah, you got to put it as far from your mind as possible. And I just, in my own personal experience, and I know in players' personal experiences, when you can do that, when you can ignore everything else and get super, almost microscopically small with your focus and say, all right, like, we're going to take it one shift at a time, is one of the oldest cliches in hockey that everybody likes to roll out. And it's an effective one. It's a cliche for a reason. But truly, like, when you can limit yourself to focusing that small and then you have that one shift go well, okay, that's something to build on. That's how momentum is changed, and that's how things start shifting back the other direction. You can't win 4 games all in a row at once. You've got to break it down stupidly small, and if they could do that here in the first period tonight, in the first shift of the first period tonight, you'd be surprised at how far things can change.
What you just said kind of reminds me of in football when it's like a defensive battle for 3.5 quarters, and then as soon as a team is like, hey, man, you guys got to go on a game-winning drive here. It's just like, oh, all of a sudden the offense turns it on. It's just like we simplified everything, and we're not thinking about the game plan or controlling the clock anymore. We just let loose, and all of a sudden you go down the field and score and make it look easy, and the fans are like, where has this been the entire game? So that could potentially be something that happens tonight. And again, I think the most dangerous team to be down 3-0 is a team that just has irrational confidence. You win tonight, quick turnaround. It's possible.
There's something to be said for, it's kind of like, you don't know what you don't know. The kind of that youthful ignorance. Like, you got a locker room full of 16, 17-year-olds for the most part, that don't fully understand maybe the scope of what they're up against. Mm-hmm. That could be a good thing. You walk in and we're like, all right, well, we're just gonna.
It's like you don't know that you don't belong.
Yeah, it's like, all right, well, we're just gonna do our thing here and figure it out as it goes along. The situation, just kind of cast it out and forget about it, and we're gonna see what happens at the end of 60 minutes or maybe more. Again, that the result of the game on Tuesday night was tough. That was a very deflating loss, but man, was that a fun hockey game. This has been the most fun, probably 3-0 hole that anybody has been in. It's been a wildly entertaining game, a wildly entertaining series, and I know that Game 4 is going to be the same.
Well, DC, hopefully this isn't the last time that we're speaking. Hopefully we're doing a recap next week because you guys have survived and moved on to a Game 7. Because it's Game 4 tonight, Game 5 tomorrow. When would Game 6 be?
Game 6 would be
back at the Dow Event Center.
Back at the Dow Event Center on Monday. Game 7 would be in Kitchener on Tuesday.
Okay.
So we've got
two. So
two
if they're
sets of
still live,
back-to-back.
you should come on Monday if you're not busy.
Yeah. I'd have to call in because we'd be in. No, that's not right. Yeah, I'd be here. Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
We'll make that plan.
Hopefully this isn't the last time we're talking to Dillon Clark. Saginaw Spirit, season on the line tonight. Where can people get tickets?
SaginawSpirit.com.
There you go. When we come back, we got a Lions mock trade for you involving one Pro Bowl player on offense. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mitt. 9 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Iron Stack Technology. They help businesses solve real tech problems securely, efficiently, and without the headache. When your IT is working the way it should, everything else gets easier. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. You can check them out online at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding. Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. I've got a mock Lions trade for you, Kyle. I'll just rip it off and tell you what it is, and then I'll dive into why I like it and why I don't like it, because I think it totally depends on your perspective. So this was introduced by Eric Edholm, NFL.com, okay? It involves trading Sam LaPorta to Washington to move up from pick 17 to pick 7. You also get a 2027 third-round pick and tight end Ben Sinnott back in return. You have to give up Sam LaPorta, the 17th pick, but you're getting the 7th back. And you're also giving up a 6th-round pick. But like I said, you get the 3rd-round pick next year. So you move up 10 spots in the first round, swap tight ends, and go from a 6th to a 3rd-round pick. What's your just initial reaction when you hear all that?
I don't really want to trade Sam LaPorta. While his trade value is probably at its lowest, I think that would be my immediate reaction.
It's a fair reaction.
Because, like you said, it depends on your perspective. You could take the perspective of the most important thing in the trade is that you're moving up. Like, you are potentially upgrading at whatever first-round pick that you're going to draft. My initial reaction is you're losing a really good player in Sam LaPorta. Like, that's where I immediately go.
I think there's two mindsets you can have when you're thinking about this trade in the offseason in general. If your entire goal this year is to win a Super Bowl, then you don't make this trade. You keep Sam LaPorta, you keep an all-pro, Pro Bowl caliber player, and you keep the best collection of players you can and try to go get this thing. But I think a lot of Lions fans understand the Lions going into the year on paper have taken a little bit of a step backwards. Right now, it feels hard to convince myself that they are a Super Bowl contending team, considering last year they simply were not, and it's not like they've made some massive improvements this offseason, which would make me think maybe the goal this year shouldn't be all in on a Super Bowl, and it should be doing what Brad Holmes has expressed, and that would be extending the window. And if the goal is to keep this long, sustainable window open, this trade makes a lot of sense. You move off of Sam LaPorta before you have to pay him. I'm telling you guys right now, the Lions aren't going to be able to pay all 4 guys from that 23 draft class. LaPorta, Branch, Jack Campbell, and Jahmyr Gibbs. Odds of being able to pay all 4 of those guys when you're already paying Hutch, Amon-Ra, Jared Goff, Sewell, McNeil, already paying all the Kirby Joseph. You're not going to be able to pay everybody. So it does make me think, okay, let's move off of Sam LaPorta so you don't have to pay him. You get younger in doing so by bringing in whoever via the draft to play tight end. You get younger at that position. You take a little bit of a step back in terms of the productivity. You also can go get your left tackle of the future or your right tackle of the future at pick 7 and feel really good about it and basically get your choice of who it is with the exception of maybe one tackle that's already off the board, whether that be to Arizona or Cleveland. If the goal is to extend the window and have this sustainable success model that Brad Holmes has talked about, I think this trade makes a lot of sense. Sam LaPorta, when he gets extended, whoever that's going to be, it's going to be about $17 to $21 million per season for 4 years. That's about what he's going to be making. I just don't think the Lions can afford to do that. And if they are going to do that, somebody else is not getting paid, whether that's Branch or Gibbs or Campbell. If that's the perspective you want to take, I think this trade does make sense. The only thing I'd push back on is I'd wish we were getting a little bit more in return versus a third-round pick next year. I'd like a third-round pick this year if we're being picky about it.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions need as many picks they can get.
I don't
currently
hate this, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If that's the perspective that you're taking, not being all in for 2026, when in reality, if you go all in this year, it still might not be enough.
Sure, I guess I could be like you're doing a good job convincing of why you don't hate it, because most of these trade proposals that come out are just terrible. They're always just like,
here's Jack Campbell 2 first. Let's go get Myles
Garrett, Jahmyr Gibbs trade. You know, like what are we doing? So like, yeah, it makes sense from the perspective of like there are so many guys that the Lions need to pay. They can't pay them all. We've talked about it. You know, like who are they going to prioritize from the class out of the 4 elite players that they drafted? Which ones are going to get paid first? We assume that Jack Campbell for sure is getting paid.
Yes.
We assume that Jahmyr Gibbs at least isn't getting traded. You know, like I don't know about
they didn't got rid of Montgomery.
Right.
Not trading both
I don't know
guys.
about the route of him getting paid. I don't know what that necessarily looks like yet.
But you can, with him being a first
certainly
round pick,
he's
you
a
can
part
just,
of the team. Yes.
Right. You can kick this paying Jameer Gibbs
Yes.
contract thing down the road for 4 more years.
And the Branch thing is just like why would you trade a guy that is coming off of a major injury?
Sam LaPorta's not coming off a minor injury.
But like, is his as you're right. I mean, his is a question
it's
mark.
a back
that's for
injury.
sure.
That's
You're right.
scary.
The reason why I will just be like, I just don't love this deal is as simple as just moving up 10 spots in the draft guarantee that you're extending the Super Bowl window just because you have a better chance at drafting a left tackle that you like a little bit more, I guess, or a right tackle if we're moving Penei Sewell over. Yeah. Like, to me, it just feels if I'm trading Sam LaPorta, I want the best tackle in the class. Mm-hmm. I want the number 1 tackle in the class. You're not getting that at pick 7. Maybe you're getting the guy that you like a lot, or you're getting a guy that you like more that you for sure wouldn't get at pick 17. But if I'm trading a player as good as LaPorta, who you and I both know is an all-pro caliber tight end when he's healthy, of course the when he's healthy is there, I want the best tackle in the class. I want to be moved up to a spot where I know I'm getting that guy, or I'm getting enough pick capital in return where it's truly worth it. And to answer your question about like, well, you can't pay everybody, so you have to do something. You don't just want to make Sam LaPorta walk. You can't pay everybody? Are we sure about that?
He's done it, but we're talking about
Brad
Holmes
here. Has paid everybody so far. Like, I will refuse to say you can't pay everybody until you literally can't because
you could pay Anzalone.
I'm not counting him. Draft
Why?
picks, guys that have been drafted. You know, like that. That's what it's. Those are the guys that when I say you can't pay everybody, right? Isn't that kind of how we're operating?
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
You're right about Anzalone, yes, but
like they are running into situations where they're unable to pay people right now. But you're right. All the guys that they've drafted, they've been able to retain
extend
thus
I guess.
far.
Correct.
The fact that there's 4 of them that could potentially get a contract this offseason, it just gets really scary really fast. All the points you're making about if we're going to trade LaPorta, I want the best tackle in the draft. I want more draft capital. That all makes sense, and I'm not telling you that you're wrong about this. I think this trade is fascinating because depending on your perspective on how good the Lions are now and how much of a position they are in right now to win a Super Bowl, completely changes on whether or not you think that this is a good trade or not. I do agree with you, though. If they were to make this trade, I'd be asking for a little bit more than next year's 3rd-round pick from Washington. I'd be asking for a 2nd. I'd probably settle on a 3rd. I just can it be this year? Can we get a little bit more? Can we get a 4th-round pick in there as well? You know, and you're right. I don't think it does guarantee them getting the best tackle in the draft class because I think that person probably goes number 3 to Arizona, whoever that ends up being, unless they take an edge rusher and it ends up being David Bailey. But either way, like Cleveland on the board at 6 could very well take a
New York
could take a tackle. I don't think New York would take a tackle. They've got a fine offensive line, but
could
you never know if it falls that way where a tackle still is not on the board or not off the board, and Washington's pick rolls around, and they called Brad Holmes and they make this trade. You really got to think about it. Like you've got 10 minutes you better know an answer going into it if that situation happens. It'd be really tempting to do it. To know, hey, this is a contract that we don't have to worry about. We're going to get a little bit younger at this position. Is it a hit? Obviously, like, do we get worse? Yes, we do. But that's what they did with the Montgomery situation, right? They knew they were going to get worse, but they get some players back in return.
This is more amplified.
Sure, it is. And we saw what sort of impact the Lions offense had when Sam LaPorta was out last year, you know. But again, like, if they can find another tight end that they like, day 2 or 3 of the draft, probably a day 3 type of thing, and it allows them to get the best tackle in the draft class, which most likely doesn't happen, but let's say for this sake, like, no tackle goes off the board when this pick is on the clock and Washington calls. You got to have a really serious conversation fast. It's not like a hang up the phone, of course we're not trading Sam LaPorta, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough question marks currently with Sam LaPorta that make this make sense, right? Are we going to be able to pay Sam LaPorta?
Are you healthy?
Question mark. Is he healthy? Question mark.
Is there long-term concerns with this?
Right.
Back?
Like the fact that now there's also the one that might outweigh all of those is like, is this guy a really good player? You know, like that. Yes, that's not a question, but there's enough question marks where it makes sense. You know, you and I have discussed like what is the next era of Brad Holmes look like? He was in the era of drafting all these really elite players, and we've compared him to these other GMs and these other franchises in the NFL, and you see them have to make these tough decisions of actually trading their good players away. We haven't really seen Holmes be put in that position. Of course, the Montgomery thing, like we can say that was maybe step one of this. Is this potentially step two of the next era of Brad Holmes, where you have to kind of figure out to be we have too many good players. Sometimes you have to cut ties with some of them. It hurts,
Look
but
what
like
the Chiefs just did with McDuffie.
Exactly.
It's a different position, of course, but right before they had to give him a contract, this is an all-pro player, Trent McDuffie. They trade him to the Rams because they need a little bit more draft capital because they understand, hey, this isn't going to be our year with Mahomes out. Lions are in a slightly different situation because it's not like they're rolling into the season with their quarterback hurt, but you look around the NFC and it's like, man, I don't think we can beat Seattle right now. I don't think we can beat the Rams right now. What if we just collected a little bit more draft capital, got our left tackle the future, and all of a sudden we extend that window that Brad Holmes has talked about maybe more than anything. He's always said we don't want to be all in to ever win a Super Bowl in one singular season. And there's been pushback from fans about that, of course. Look where they are now without even having that mindset. They lack draft capital. I know they have a ton of day 3 picks. I don't care about the 6th-round picks, though. They don't have a 3rd-round pick. They have 2 picks in the top 100. Here's a chance to kind of make up for that and have extra draft capital after this year's draft, you know? I think this is really interesting. I want to get people's thoughts on this. 989-837-6125. We'll get to some Mitt messages on this. We'll get to the Michigan Wolverines clash of titans that they have with Arizona on Saturday as well. And, of course, the Tigers offense got shut out again yesterday, 2nd time. Not great signs early on for this Tigers offense. Maybe more of the same as last year than we realized. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Bresky Siding and Building Repair, they bring you the show today. The experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you have a leaky roof, storm damage, the siding looking a little tired, Bresky has you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, this Lions trade, let's get into a couple texts. 989-837-6125. I got a text that says, see how bad they were without LaPorta last year. That's not a coincidence. Petzing loves tight ends. Why would you trade away a top 3 player at that position? All totally fair commentary, you know? Petzing is a tight end. Look what he did to Trey McBride last year. Although he did pour a little bit of a wet blanket on the, hey, like you had so much success with tight ends last year. You ran all this 13 personnel with the 3 tight ends. When he went on the Pride of Detroit podcast with Reisman and Schlitt, he did pour a little bit of water on that, just in terms of like, well, that was the personnel that we had. Like, I got to Detroit and it's a completely different personnel. I don't have a specific scheme that I need to incorporate. I do it based on the personnel that each one of my teams has. Either way, what this texter says is perfectly accurate. Why would you trade away a top 3 player at a position? This is more of a financial move than anything, and an extend the window thing. It's essentially prioritizing finding your next left tackle than paying Sam LaPorta, which is also fair. I get people not wanting to do this, and it's also tough to give up on a player like LaPorta, who, you know me, man. I love this guy. I wanted them to lock him up before they locked up JMO, but that's not the situation that they found themselves in, you know? I love LaPorta. I think he's one of the most underrated players on the team, underrated players across the league. Would definitely ball out elsewhere if he was healthy. This is the tough decisions that Brad Holmes has to make, though. Like, we go back and look, and it's like, hey, what tough decisions has Brad Holmes had to make before this year when you had to let Alex Anzalone walk and you had to let Demo walk? There was no tough decisions. You paid everybody. And now we look back and frown upon that. I just wonder if this is not one where you win the headlines, but 2-3 years from now, you look back and it's like, okay, that was actually an awesome move considering so-and-so left tackle that they ended up drafting at 7 becomes this awesome lights-out player.
Yeah, I mean, I will be honest. Like, I mean, I thought I kind of implemented this in the opening segment. I'm out on this trade overall.
Sure.
Like, I would just rather not do it because I've just never liked trading a guy when their value is quote-unquote at their lowest. Now, I don't know when, like, LaPorta's value is going to rise because
after you pay him.
He's due for a new contract. So, like, at some point, it's either you pay him or you don't, and you would rather – I mean, if you don't plan on paying him, of course you'd rather trade him. But I don't think that's going to be a situation that the Lions find themselves in where, like, he just walks. So I'm still out on this trade just because I think LaPorta's a really good player, and I know the injury stuff can be concerning. I would rather go into the season and figure it out then.
So you're working in the mindset that this should be a Super Bowl all-in year. It's okay to, like, there's no right or wrong answer. I just think it's hard. You have to know your goals before you make a decision on this trade. If your goal is to extend the window, then I think the obvious answer is yes. If the goal is to win a Super Bowl this season, I think the obvious answer is no, don't make this trade. But you have to make what your goals for the season are objectively clear.
This trade just decides, like, one direction or the other. It's like the Fast and Furious. You're going off in the 2 separate directions here.
Whether or not you accept it, I think it doesn't like necessarily determine which way you're going, but depending on which way you predetermine, like, forget this trade. You got to have that objective as to what your goals for the season are, and what your goal is long term, what you're prioritizing. Depending on which path you walk down, this could be something to entertain.
Because what if you do just nail the pick at 17? And like, whoever you draft at 17 just, like, is your future tackle next to Penei Sewell for the next 5 to 8 years.
That'd be great. You still have to deal with
paying everybody.
We still have to deal with paying Sam LaPorta, and you also still don't have, or you don't get that extra 3rd-round pick the following season in this trade.
If I could be enticed, by the way, if that 3rd-round pick was a second, and maybe the Lions threw in like a 5th rounder.
Yeah.
To spice it up a little bit.
They have a zillion 6.
I would be enticed by that. If this was a early day 2 pick, I could really be talked into this.
Nick says, deal 100% all day, every day. Quit looking at the name in the back in jersey and look at the name in the front. Move up 10 spots and get a 3rd-round pick. 100%. Love Sam, but he is 4th on the list of Campbell, Gibbs, and Branch to re-sign. Back issues included. Done deal.
kind of like that there is a mixed review to this deal.
Yeah,
Because
that's why I wanted
yeah,
to bring it up on
yeah,
the show.
It's
a
good
fascinating
because
trade.
Most of these Lions deals are always just the most unrealistic, like the best player in the league. Let's trade 4 first-round picks, Max Crosby. Like,
You can't even trade 4.
but most
Still
of
4.
the time it's the guys you're trading for. It's not trading away. Like when you're a good team, trading away good players, that usually doesn't make sense. But we see teams do it, and so I like that there was mixed reviews on this. I think that's a good answer from Nick. Like at some point, you do need to detach yourself from the name of these guys. Sam LaPorta is probably a fan favorite, not just for you and me. Probably most Lions fans love that guy, right? How
Yeah.
could you not? The guy runs through a brick wall. He plays harder than anybody. He could go a whole game without catching a pass. He's never going to complain. He's like the sweetest guy ever. Like
Yeah.
he's not a jerk.
And he's just constantly been like one of the more reliable third down targets. Like anytime they throw it to him on third down, I just feel like we're moving the chains.
Yeah. But the situation just might not work out for him and the Lions.
Lance says, make the trade and move up to get an elite edge rusher. We have Conklin at tight end in the trade, or move Tesla to tight end, which is something that you and I have talked about before. Absolutely a good trade. I'm not sure LaPorta will be the same with his back injury. So there is like a general fear of what LaPorta looks like after this back injury. I wouldn't say there's any reason to believe he's going to be one way or the other, whether or not he's going to be the same player or worse player. Like, we just don't know right now, which I guess is concerning on its own.
Right.
You know? I don't think Conklin's like a needle mover by any stretch of the imagination. I think you're replacing LaPorta with someone in the draft on one of your trillion day 3 picks. But this is something that we hadn't talked about. We just kind of assumed moving up to 7 means you're getting a tackle. What if this is finally where you get your edge?
Then who's playing tackle?
Larry Borum, baby. I'm just throwing out everything and just entertaining everything.
Yeah. Now here's the thing: if
Gotta
they
cover all
moved
the
up,
bases.
if they moved up in the draft, like did this deal and everything, and didn't draft a tackle, I guess if it was an edge, I wouldn't be that upset about it.
It's just as big of a need.
It really is. If they let's throw this hypothetical out. If they did this deal, moved up 10 spots, and drafted a non-tackle or edge rusher, I'd freak out. I would like, and I hate to be the guy on draft. Like I've always been the guy that like if you overreact to a draft pick, I get so frustrated by that kind of stuff. I would be so frustrated by that though.
There would be some really mean stuff being said about Brad Holmes the next day. I don't think that's possible though, right?
No,
There's
I mean,
way
what
they're
would you,
trading
in the
up and
top
taking
10?
a receiver.
Yeah,
or
what
like
what
that.
position would you take? I mean, there's only like 4 positions that even go in the top 10. Yeah.
Tesla tight end is something that I've like talked about semi as a joke, semi realistically before, but there's a need for it. It's probably not going to happen. He certainly has the size. If like they
Does
really,
he?
I think so.
Like
He's
hypothetically,
huge.
he has the size, but like you have to be able to block. Can he block at an elite level?
It's probably not going to happen.
It's probably not going to happen. But it's funny to think about though.
The edge that would probably be available, I assume Avril Reese and David Bailey are likely gone by then.
Yeah.
Although if Arizona were to take an edge a tackle, who knows, maybe David Bailey would be there at 7. Let's say Arizona and Cleveland both took tackles instead of edge rushers at 3 and 6. Maybe you can trade up and go get a guy like David Bailey, who's pretty much the most sure thing in the draft. At the edge rusher spot, Avril Reese is like this high upside.
Yeah, the hybrid guy, like is he a
Micah
linebacker?
Parsons
Is
type
he
of
an
player.
edge? Yeah.
You could go up and get Bailey, and then you still got to figure out a way to get your tackle.
Esco in the YouTube chat. What about Caleb Downs at 7?
No, that's too high.
Now we're really talking ourselves into crazy things.
I love Caleb Downs. I think there's a better chance he's drafted closer to 17 than at 7.
You would think so, just based off of like what position does he play?
He is. I typically look at Todd McShay's board rather than anything ESPN puts out or anything like that. Downs is the 5th player on the board, but in his mock draft, I think he's going like 14.
Yeah.
He goes 10 actually. It's just it's not a position that's premium, even though it'd be really nice to add him and Brian Branch to a healthy secondary.
That would
That'd
give you
awesome.
a lot of options, yeah. Gary in the YouTube chat, going back to the LaPorta thing, says, you can have the best tight end in the league, but if you can't keep pressure off of Goff long enough to find him, it does you no good as a team. So I would assume this means that he's probably in on the trade.
Yeah. One text that just keeps it very simple. Yes, do the trade. That makes sense.
Okay.
Let's do one more, and then we'll circle back to this a little bit later on in the show. Russ says that's a bad trade that ensures the Lions get one of the top 3 tier tackles in the draft, not a given that Mauigoa, Freeling, or Fanu fall to 17. Yeah, for anyone who's hasn't been tapped into the draft yet, and I still have a lot of homework to do, but the general consensus is there's 6 first-round tackles. In my head, in my mind, it'd be pretty disappointing for the Lions to not walk away with one of those guys in this year's draft. I know the edge rusher spot is a big need as well, but between Caden Proctor, Caleb Lomu, Blake Miller, Monroe Freeling, Spencer Fanu, and Francis Mauigoa, I feel like you got to walk away with one of those guys in the first round. Whether that's at 17 or at 7, TBD. Odds of them actually making this trade, very low. But I thought it was worth a conversation. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Before you go anywhere, let me tell you about Kingsview Partners right here in Midland. If you're looking for financial advice that actually makes sense, you got to meet Doug Cellini of Kingsview Partners. Former teacher and coach, Doug breaks down all the complicated stuff and makes it easy to understand for people like you and me. He helps families and professionals build clear game plans for their money so you can move forward with confidence and not confusion. That's Doug Cellini, Kingsview Partners, right here in Midland.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
By Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, real quick, let's do a 5-minute version of what's going on in the news. Here's Kyle Sandel with the Mitt Morning Catch.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Quick version of the news. Fine. Fine if you're going to make me. Okay, first up in the news. Yesterday, I know we're going to talk about this. We'll make it brief. The Tigers get shut out. They lose 1-0. Skubal goes 6 innings, only gives up 1 run, a solo homer to Corbin Carroll. Oh, yeah.
We'll have more on this on the 10 o'clock hour.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there. Hey, tonight we got both of our winter Detroit teams in action. Red Wings, Flyers, they play at 7. Pistons, Timberwolves, they also play at 7, but they're on Amazon Prime.
Desperately need a win for the Wings. Flyers are also one of the teams in the playoff race here, trying to chase that final wild card spot. Here we are, 3 years in a row, trying to get into that last wild card spot, even though Wings held a playoff spot for 104 days. They're definitely in more need of a win. Still no Cade Cunningham tonight for the Pistons. We'll see if Anthony Edwards plays, but they're 11-4 without Cade, so they've been on fire. So this should be a fun game. I like the Amazon Prime games.
Yep.
Very interested in both the outcomes tonight.
They played the Timberwolves like a week and a half ago without Anthony Edwards. Beat up
last
on
Saturday.
It was on ESPN, too. That was also a national televised game. Beat the crap out of him. So we'll see if that happens tonight. I want Ant to play. Like, I want to see, because watching the Pistons versus the Thunder the other night, like a basically fully healthy Thunder team, at least with their star playing, that was fun. Like, it was fun to watch the G League Pistons play them. And tonight, it won't be the G League Pistons. Like, Dillon will play and stuff, so it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully, the Pistons can pick up
This
a dub.
one's in Detroit or in Minnesota?
In Minnesota? I actually don't know.
No. They were
100%.
in Minnesota the first time, so this one has to be in Detroit, right?
That would make sense.
Because they
yeah.
had the pink court.
Yeah, they did have the pink court.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. This one is in Detroit, correct. Anthony Edwards still listed as a game time decision. Pistons, though, are 3.5-point favorites. So
Which
that
would make me think Ant's
Correct.
not playing.
Isaiah Stewart also remains out for the Pistons as well.
He's just not going to play again this regular season, is he?
Beef stew?
Yeah.
I don't think they've. Yeah, they haven't come out and said that, but.
But like, with what happened last year with his knee,
man. Please be healthy for the playoffs, man.
I think
not
they're
having
just-
him last year sucked so bad.
I think they're just being cautious about it because of what happened last year, where
Fair.
he's fighting through something and then it's too late and he's out for the series. I think they're just letting him get as healthy as possible right now. But unfortunate timing on 2 years in a row.
For sure. Okay, let's move to the college basketball level. First off, on the Michigan side of things. Yesterday, Elliot Cadeau leaves practice on a stretcher, receiving medical treatment after an allergic reaction, it sounds like. He is okay. He didn't even end up going to the hospital like by himself, so he is chilling, it sounds like. But definitely a scary moment when this first went down yesterday.
I 100% thought it was an April Fool's prank. Turns out it's not. I'm still not 100% convinced it's not.
I mean, why? It
Sounds
seemed,
like he'll be all right,
yeah,
though.
yeah. Allergic reaction, though, man. Like, that's, I don't know what it was to, obviously, but that's definitely a little bit scary. But yeah, it seems like Elliot Cadeau is all good. I did want to touch on this, though. I thought this was interesting. Former Michigan head coach John Beilein was asked about just Dan Hurley and the UConn Huskies, talking about the Final Four. Of course, his former team, Michigan, is playing in it. He talked about how he doesn't really love the way that Dan Hurley acts during the games. And John Beilein is a very friendly, nice person, doesn't really criticize very often. He wasn't criticizing Hurley's style of actually coaching, but just the way he operates during the game. He said he was not a fan of that.
I mean, he's a nut job. He headbutted a
I
ref.
thought this was interesting, though.
I don't dislike the way he coaches. I just don't want him to win anymore. It's annoying. He's gotten to that point. Congratulations. You've reached the final level of success when people just don't want you to win just because.
Right.
That's kind of where I'm at with Dan Hurley.
It's like Mahomes, you know? That's
Not-
why people don't like Mahomes.
It's not.
Just wins too much.
I'm not there with Mahomes yet. I
Well,
don't think I'll
you're
ever get
different.
there.
So why don't you like Hurley? You always appreciate the guys that are great because you like witnessing greatness, but Hurley you're out on?
He's just so, like, I feel like he thinks the world revolves around him. He is the main character in his head.
He kind of is the main character, though.
I guess. I guess I just don't like. I don't know. I just don't like it. It's
Okay.
as simple as that. Some guys you don't like, some guys you do. I just don't like them.
That's valid. Let's talk about another college coach. Tom Izzo revealed yesterday, and this was once again not an April Fool's joke, said that he seriously considered the Suns' head coaching job last summer. Matt Ishbia, of course, is the owner of the Phoenix Suns. He actually went with a different former Michigan State person in Jordan Ott to be their head coach. It's completely worked out. The Suns are a playoff team this year when everybody thought it was more of a reset season for them, but this is not the first time Tom Izzo has considered a move to the NBA. Of course, he very, very seriously considered going to the Cleveland Cavaliers 20 years ago, basically, at this point. A little bit less than that, but there's no way this would have actually happened, right? No way.
He would have been fired within 5 months. I don't think he would have made it through 1 year. You can't yell at your players the way that you can in college, in the NBA, when they're all making way more money than
He
you.
would have adjusted for sure, but
Maybe. I also think this just proves Matt Ishbia is so narrow thinking.
that's the part that I thought about it more of was just Ishbia's a weirdo.
This guy's a moron. 989-837-6125. Tigers, when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on the Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Lazy Electric Studios. This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Ten o'clock hour. Let's get rocking and rolling. The Tigers, they had a day game yesterday, getaway game. Day off today. Yesterday was the second time in 6 games that they were shut out. No other team in baseball has been shut out multiple times. Even though the Tigers rank 15th in runs scored, it does feel like they're struggling to consistently score runs. The crazy stat that highlights their inconsistency is they've scored in 2 innings over their last 4 games. Just 2 different innings in which they've put up runs on the scoreboard. They're 0-4 in those games. We talked about controlling the zone, all this, all that. One thing that we know, statistically, you just need to be able to do to go on a deep playoff run is hit home runs. The Tigers have hit 1 home run in their first 6 games, which ranks, checks notes, dead last. No other team has hit less than 3, and the Tigers have hit just 1. It's 6 games in. There's no need to panic. It's not an overreaction, though. This offense is not as good as we thought. We thought going into the year, hey, McGonigal, they're going to save this. Riley Green going to take a step forward. They can right the ship. First 6 games, though, it's like pulling your hair out because there'll be an inning where they score 6 runs, and then they'll follow it up with 18 innings in a row where they do not score. To lose 1-0 in a Tarek Skubal start when you've already lost the first 2 games of the series and you're looking to end a 3-game losing streak, and for your offense to hang 0 runs out on the scoreboard, it makes you want to pull your hair out. It's incredibly frustrating.
I mean, in this 4-game losing streak that they are on right now, which would be 36 innings of baseball, you know how many innings they have scored in those 36?
2.
2 innings.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, they've only scored in 7 innings on the whole season. Like, it's such an interesting stat. Like, all of their runs outside of that first game where they sprinkled it across 3 innings, they just come in spurts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one or 2 guys get something going, and then it's a very contagious lineup, which, of course, can be a great thing if guys are hitting well. If you have good – I mean, and that happens a lot of these times with these really good offenses. Like, 1 or 2 guys get things rolling, boom. The whole thing is going.
I mean, 2 nights ago, the game where they blew the 5-1 lead, all 5 of those runs came in the same inning. And
all of their hits came in the same inning.
I was just going to say, they had 6 hits on the day, and they all came in that 3rd inning. It's just like, hey, floodgates are open. We're flowing right now. And then after that, it's just like, we're not going to do anything the rest of the game. Like, it's almost worse than just having a terrible offense.
That's what I was just going to say. Like, having a contagious offense can be very beneficial. But if the opposite side of it, where no one can get anything going most of the time, is it is mind-bending. Like, it just truly frustrates the crap out of it. I'm watching that game yesterday, and I'm just like, oh, my gosh. Like
what is wrong with
McGonigal
this
gets the
team?
leadoff hit early in the 8th inning or 9th inning, whatever it was, and then Torres hits in the double play. Riley Green hits a double, and you're just like, oh, they could have scored the run right there.
That's all right. Like, that's the only guy I'm not pissed at right now is McGonigal.
Colt Keith as well.
Colt Keith as well. I don't know how you could be upset with those 2 guys. It's going to take a while for me to ever get upset with McGonigal the way that he's hit the ground running. And Riley's, over the 4-game losing streak, it's not like he's been terrible. He had a tough first 3 games, but he had a fine Arizona series.
Been fine.
Everybody else, it's like, hey man, what's going on? Why has there been so many strikeouts? Why are we not able to draw walks right now? What's going on? Like, and there's innings and there's games where you can hit guys through in scoring position, and there go the lights. Other than that, though, it gets incredibly frustrating when you go 36 innings and you only score in 2 different innings. Like that's crazy frustrating to watch as a fan.
Especially when you have Tarek Skubal on the mound, who, once again, had a pretty good outing. Like, he hasn't been striking out guys to a premium like we maybe expect Tarek Skubal to, but still.
Not walking anybody.
Goes 6 innings, not walking anybody, gives up a solo shot that happens. Like, it's something that happens to Tarek Skubal. He will give up the home run ball against a really good hitter in Corbin Carroll. Like, you should never lose 1-0, man. Losing 1-0.
With Skubal on the mound.
It happened so many times to them last year, and it's the most frustrating thing you can do in baseball. I will say, how the hell did Colt Keith's double not go over the wall? How does a ball hit the top of the wall and not go over? Logistically, it does not make sense. I didn't understand that at all. I'm happy to be out of Chase Field because that place is weird.
It's a pinball machine out in the outfield.
And how does that ball not go over? How does it hit the top of the wall? I don't understand.
Least favorite places to play. Colorado, that's a made-up stadium. It's a video game. There's just the numbers there, it's like they don't even count. If I was a pitcher, I would never want to play there, ever. It'd ruin your stats. It's ruining you from good contracts. Colorado's the number one stadium I'm just out on. It's not real baseball. Arizona, while it's real baseball because it's not like the altitude
And
really
it's
screws with everything.
It's a very cool ballpark as well. Like, I've always heard Chase Field is like an awesome place to be at.
The dimensions of that outfield, though, it's bizarre out there. It hits the wall, and it's just unpredictable where that thing's going to go. Yeah, you're right. I'm glad to be out of there as well. I'm glad to have the day off today. They clearly need it. I'm glad to be back in Detroit, even though you look outside right now and it does not look like baseball weather.
Oh, my
here.
God, I know. It's terrible. Look, there is a silver lining to this Tiger start. Reasons to be concerned and frustrated are at a high. Absolutely. You also were 2-4 through the first two series last year.
Mm-hmm.
And you're returning back to Detroit in the same situation you did a year ago. And that's when they really started to turn things up, the Tigers, last year. Once they got back home for the first time on the season. So, obviously, like, we are overreacting, but the offense is just so... I mean, it is just frustrating that for this to be going on this early into the season after what we saw in Game 1 and 2, mainly in Game 1, though, where you were like, man, let's go. Like, McGonigal, 4 hits, Dillon, Dingler, homer. No homers since then?
One home run is insane,
That's
man.
absurd.
What's going on?
Even if Colt Keith counted yesterday, even if that was a homer, they'd still be so low and dead last.
Or let's say that one counted and the McGonigal home run that got robbed counted, they'd still be tied for dead last. Where's the power coming from? Thank you, Dillon Dingler. But this is such a pull and like a tug of war with Riley because you want him to be a little bit more consistent. And he's hit multiple doubles this year. And you can tell it's not like he's just trying to hit a ball 5,000 feet. And the swing is leveled out a little bit.
He's been fine, yeah.
But you're also kind of sitting there like, okay, when are those home runs going to come back? We kind of want those too, It's such a tug of war with Riley Green. Torque is the one where it's like, hey, man, we need you to hit somebody. Carey specifically.
Carey is the one, yeah.
Where are the home runs?
What are you doing?
We've had 6 games against right-handed starters. The fact that Carey Carpenter, it's not that he hasn't hit a home run that we're frustrated. It's
hit a home run, dude. Like, I'm frustrated by it. He's the guy that's in the lineup to
get a hit.
He's in the lineup to crush right-handed pitching, and he has not done that. Like, hit a home run, dude. This team needs one so bad.
Yeah.
And last year, to open the season, they were like a surprisingly pretty top-of-the-league power unit. Like, it was like, wow, this team has gone deep way more this year than they did the prior season. That was something that you always were like, I mean, it's the stat you always look at, right? The best teams in the league that go deep in the playoffs, they hit the most home runs. You want to keep it simple? The teams that hit a ton of homers, they win playoff series.
Yeah, it's like the last 6 years, you got to be a top 5 team in home runs to win a World Series.
They
Point
shift
blank.
playoff series. It's like you hit home runs in the playoffs, boom, you win. It's that simple. Last year, the Tigers were surprisingly good at that. This year, I mean, it's 6 games. Duh. 1 home run is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's now that we're 2 series in, it's not like it's like, hey, 1 series and everything can shift. No, now it's like you need 2 series to really correct the ship.
Right.
And if you have another series, you're going to need 3 series to really correct course, So we're getting to the point where it's not necessarily an overreaction. Again, there's no need to panic, but yeah, it's not a good sign for the Tigers offense that the inconsistencies are there, the lack of power seems to be a problem as well. And the fact that Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson and Carey Carpenter have just not been big contributors so far for this offense. It's been Keith, it's been McGonigal, it's been Dingler that have been the driving forces of this offense so far. Torque has a big RBI hit earlier in the series against Arizona. Riley has multiple doubles this year. Like, it's not like they've done nothing. Carey, in a way, has done a little bit of nothing. But we need a little bit more. Sorry for putting a higher expectations on the guys that were in the heart of the lineup last year that needed to take a step forward this season. It shouldn't be Keith and Dingler and McGonigal that are carrying the offense. It's nice if they do, but in my mind, if they're doing that, it means Riley and Torque and Carey are still doing their thing, and now they just have 6 guys that you can really rely on. That has not been the case this year, at least not consistently across the board. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Want to get into some of your guys' thoughts on this Detroit Tigers team. We'll open up the Mitt message line when we come back. Whole lot of stuff to still get to, including a trip around the league. Michigan basketball, we still haven't got to that. I think this is a heavyweight bout between Michigan and Arizona. That goes without saying. Both these teams have looked unbeatable all year long. But I do have a very fascinating stat when it comes to Michigan's history in the Final Four. It's all coming up here on the Ben Bosscher Show live on The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
You know, ironically with the Tigers, it's not even the strikeouts that are bothersome right now. It's just the fact that they're not hitting home runs. And it's not even that they're not getting on base like they do. It's just like there's just an inconsistency in when it's happening. That's the biggest issue right now. And I think the best stat we have is they've only scored in 2 different innings across the last 36 innings, and they're 0-4 in those last 36 innings, being 4 games. But, like, it's not like it's the strikeouts. They have 60 strikeouts on the year that ranks 10th. But, like, I mean, well, I guess it's the Mariners. Like, they're at the top of the league in strikeouts. That's an offense that we're not worried about by any means. Like, that's going to be a dope team this year. In terms of walks this season so far, the Tigers are 11th in total walks. Like, it's not like they're falling behind in that category. They're just, I mean, they're not hitting home runs. And they're not scoring runs on a consistent basis. It's as simple as that.
What was our number one concern with the Tigers' offense as a whole last year? It was
strikeouts.
It was scoring runners in scoring position.
Right.
Hitting guys in. That was something they were so bad at last season, especially down the stretch, and it was the number one reason why they completely fell apart at the end of the year, and it was the reason why they fell apart in the playoffs. How many times did they have an opportunity to win the game against Seattle? And they didn't, because they'd put a guy on second, they'd put a guy on first, they'd get runners at the corners, and they wouldn't be able to score them. That's been the issue once again. Like, they're getting guys on base. They're not getting overall, like, total great production, but they're getting guys on base. They're drawing walks, like you said, 11th in the league. Like, that's notable. They just aren't able to bring guys in, which is the most frustrating thing in baseball. I saw a funny meme yesterday that was like, when your favorite football team loses one of their 17 games, and you're like, oh, man, that stinks, but like, at least we'll get a chance to go at them next week. And then it was like, when your favorite baseball team loses one of their 162 games, it was a guy just freaking out. Like, it's classic, dude. There's just nothing more frustrating than when your baseball team has a really good pitcher, back-to-back games. Casey Mize had a great outing. Tarek Skubal had a great outing, and you're unable to reward those guys for having good outings. Even the bullpen. Like, the bullpen was fine yesterday, too. They don't get it, though.
Brian says, it's early in the season. I'd rather have an early season slump than an end-of-the-year slump like last season. Fair. Aaron says, is anyone surprised they couldn't hit last year and didn't do much to change that this season? Well, their addition was McGonigal, and he's been great. You know, so, but I guess that one addition's not going to do a whole lot. They still have the deadline. It's not like I'm panicking, right? Like,
we're talking about the deadline.
Like, somebody texted in and said they've played 6 games. Chill out. Like, what do you want us to say? You know what? They're going to win the AL Central.
Yeah,
it's
they're
over.
Great.
They're awesome.
We got to talk about them.
That's kind of the job. Jeff says they are the exact same team that they were last year, with the exception of a rookie that they are counting on to be an offensive spark, and they're not even an average hitting team. Otherwise, this is not a surprise. Yeah. This is not exactly where you want to be, but we do have home baseball coming back, and that's maybe the nicest part about all of this.
Yeah, at least those other games, they were West Coast games where you might not have been fully tuned into. Yesterday's game you probably were, but you can still kind of blind yourself to those games. Maybe you haven't been tapped into Tigers baseball as much as you'd like to be because of the timing of those first couple series, and you can now be reintroduced going back home. And we talked about this earlier, but like same situation as last year. 2-4 to start the season. You're on the road for the first 2 series. Like, it's nice that you can return home now and hopefully rejuvenate some sort of run, because think about how we felt about this team after the first 2 games. We're like, man, this is a really good squad. We got 2 really good pitchers. We get to see Framber Valdez again. The offense was supporting those pitchers. So hopefully them returning back home can happen again. Gary does say, it looks like the old Javi Baez is back, swinging at cutters that end up outside the left-hander's batter's box.
Yeah, he's had an awful start to the season. I mean, he's not in the lineup every day, which is nice.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
So his pitches that are down, he just he can't lay off of them. I don't know how we haven't gotten through to him a little bit, and especially with the idea that they need to control the zone and the ABS system. It's like he can't do it. So I'm at the point where I'm not even frustrated with it anymore. That's who it is. Is it torture to watch? Yes, but it's why would you expect anything different from Javi Baez,
And now he's not an everyday player. Like, with the addition of McGonigal, it makes it easier to be like, oh, Javi's not having a good game. Good thing he's not playing tomorrow. Like, last year they actually counted on him, which obviously was a scary thing for quite some time.
Yes, without a doubt. This is now the number one concern, right? I know we floated out the idea of it being the bullpen, but it's without a doubt the offense right now, right?
Yeah,
as the number one concern for the Tigers.
I mentioned this yesterday even. Like, before it was obviously the bullpen that blew the game, you could say, or it was their fault that they lost that game in the Mize start, but I was still like, you had one inning where you got any hits. Yes, you did have 6 of them and scored 5 runs from it, but you can't do that. Like, that can't be something very consistent. And then they back it up with a 0-run game. So, yeah, the offense is absolutely the number one concern.
Yeah. That's unfortunately where they stand right now. They have the day off today. Valdez is on the mound tomorrow for the home opener. Hopefully there's a good crowd for the home opener, and that kind of sparks them back to life a little bit. It's a St. Louis team. They're fine. It's not like they're anything crazy. So you really hope that this weekend can be a chance to right the ship. Otherwise, I feel like a series loss here or a sweep, Monday we are a little bit panicking. Like, I think 3 series in with that bad of a start, you are allowed to kind of hit the panic button a little bit. You can't do it through 2 games unless you're 0-6. You can do it through 3 series, though.
Especially with them finally returning home.
Yes. And being able to play in front of the home crowd. If they're still not able to score runs like that, yeah, we're going to be concerned. Is it a full out, like, well, this season's a total failure and it's going to be? No. But I also think it's like, hey, some of the concerns that we had last season with this team maybe have not gotten better. That's something that the Tigers are going to have to prove to us that they are a better team with. And obviously Keith and McGonigal have been great this year. But other than that, shout out Dillon Dingler for hitting the lone home run. They need to hit a couple more of those. What's your goal for this series, though, coming up this weekend?
Win it.
It's just that black and white,
Right.
just win
I
the
mean,
series?
I think so.
I'd like to hit a home run as well.
I mean, that
How about
should not be a goal. Hitting a home run should not be a goal. That should be a must. Hit a home run in every game. How about that?
In every game this series?
That's not a rare thing to ask.
How about this? 2 home runs. That's not asking for too much. I think asking for a home run 3 days in a row.
This is a professional baseball team. You should be able to hit a home run, 3 home runs across a 3-game series. Like that is just an easy thing to ask for.
All right. So a series win and 3 home runs. That's what we're asking for with this team. Deal?
Yes.
Okay. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We are live right here on 100.9. The Mid, if you're looking for something fun to do right here in Mid-Michigan, well, first of all, the Loons are playing tomorrow. May as well come to a game this weekend. But if not, Go Great Lakes has you covered from festivals and live music, outdoor adventure, great food, family-friendly events. GoGreatLakesBay.org is your one-stop guide for the Great Lakes Bay region. Whether it's a weekend planned or a last-minute idea, get out, explore local, and go Great Lakes. Like I said, the Loons are back in town starting tomorrow. We're going to have one of the Loons on at the end of the show. We've got opening day rocking tomorrow. We've got games on Saturday and Sunday as well. A little Easter special for you on Sunday. And both Saturday and Sunday are going to be day games as well, 1 o'clock. As of tomorrow, though, it's raining right now, but it does look like the weather's going to clear up and we're going to have a nice opening pitch, semi-nice opening pitch weather, as good as you can imagine for early April.
April, yeah, exactly.
I'm excited. I really am. Hey, if you're looking for a new car, I can tell you from firsthand experience, Garber Chevrolet in Midland, they make it easy. I brought my car there last summer. The whole process was smooth, no stress, just straightforward. Whether it's a new whip or a quality used vehicle, the team knows their stuff and treats you right. Garber Chevrolet, a place you can actually trust to purchase your new car.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on By Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back in. Let's take a timeout from the Tigers. Let's take a timeout from where we open up the show with the Lions. Let's take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
I saw a hilarious story on ESPN.com yesterday regarding the Eagles. Do you remember that final game that they played this playoffs against San Fran, where their offense is basically ice cold the entire game, and they've got to pick up a fourth down. It was like fourth and they were like 20 yards out from the goal line,
That's
right?
And they tried to tush push.
No, they didn't try the tush push. But they needed to, their season was on the line after not being able to score basically the all game, and their offense was struggling all game. Story comes out that Nick Sirianni and their offensive play caller, Kevin Petullo, they asked Jalen Hurts for his input. Hey, we just ran 4 verts on 3rd and 10. We didn't get anywhere from it. What play should we run here on 4th down? Just to see what Jalen Hurts had to say. And he said, well, we should run 4 verts again. I mean, if anybody's ever played Madden, you know what 4 verts is. It's essentially, it's not a Hail Mary.
It's a bad play.
Yeah.
It's a difficult play to pull off.
Yeah. It's not Hail Mary, but it kind of is Hail Mary. Everybody go deep, and we'll find somebody. First of all, that is hilarious that this can even come out. Like, who has insight on... Somebody on the headset had to have leaked this information, because who else would know this? And it does make me think, okay, as polarizing of a quarterback as Jalen Hurts is, and for as much gospel as he speaks at the podium, where he spreads his wisdom onto everybody, and he has all these insightful quotes like he's some philosopher, he actually might just have a really low football IQ. If he ran a 3rd and 10 4 verts, it got them nowhere. And again, this offense was super frustrating because it was like, it lacks creativity last year, right? That was Philly's whole thing. Their offense has all the pieces.
Yeah.
They should be able to put up points. They don't. And for them to run a 4 verts on 3rd down and then 4th down season on the line, hey, what's our best play? What should we run? 4 verts. It makes me think he's not a very smart quarterback, even though he comes across as one of the smarter guys in the league, or at least he puts on that front.
Right. He likes to believe he's one of the smarter guys. Not even just quarterbacks in the league, just like smarter people in the league as well. He's a philosopher. He's a preacher, like you say. That's like his whole bit.
And it made me think maybe that's not the case at all. Hilarious that this came out, but here's my premise for today's Around the League. I want to draft quarterbacks based on how smart we think they are. Their IQ. Their football IQ specifically. So, like, if we were doing this 10 years ago, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, those are your two guys, right? Now there's so much when it comes to the quarterback position.
What, Dan Orlovsky doesn't make the list?
No. Well, actually, Dan Orlovsky would probably make the
No, he
list.
wouldn't. He ran out of the back of the end zone.
Sure, you're right.
That'd be my case.
Let's put Josh Allen's physical body aside and his ability to run over people. Put that aside. Strictly based on IQ. Football IQ, who do we think are the best quarterbacks in the NFL? I'll give you the first pick.
I'll take Matt Stafford.
Great answer.
First overall. I love Matt Stafford, and I think that he's very smart.
One of the more experienced quarterbacks in the NFL, outside of Rodgers, has seen more snaps than anybody else.
Now, his ability to be very smart is matched by his incredible arm talent.
Yeah.
That kind of is a reason why he is. But, yeah, I think he probably is a top 3 smartest QB in the NFL. Maybe I'm forgetting about someone, but I will choose him.
I don't think Stafford's a bad answer.
Maybe he's not first.
I think first is Mahomes.
See, I knew you were going to say that, and it's just like...
Can I make my case first?
Sure.
He's got the photographic memory. It's on the record that this guy can just recall any play from, college, all the way back when. He said he didn't start reading defenses until his second year in the NFL, and that's when everything clicked and he became, the best quarterback in the league. And also, he's reinvented his offensive game plan, or his offense in general, 3 times now. They were the deep shot Chiefs. He was able to pull that off. They were the short game Chiefs. He was able to pull that off. He's adaptable, is my point. I think it's him. The photographic memory really does it for me. That's the part that gets forgotten about Mahomes. He makes all these incredible plays. He can roll out, throw from any arm slot, throw on the run, can throw as he's falling down. I think he's also just kind of a genius. You can't run zone coverage against Patrick Mahomes because he always knows where open guys are. I don't think he gets enough credit for that.
Okay, that's fair. I just feel that when the whole purpose when you say let's take away Josh Allen's physical ability, why can't we take away Mahomes' a physical ability?
I am, and I'm saying
okay.
I think you literally can't run zone against him, and he's got the photographic memory to where he can recite any play from the playbook from any year he's played football. That stuff means something to me.
I have a hot take of a pick here, and this might not be a pick that everyone would make for my number 2. I'm taking Lamar Jackson second. Look, I know he didn't have the greatest year ever. The guy doesn't turn the ball over, and he always people just forget about how elite of a pocket passer Lamar Jackson is. You always
the highest QBR ever.
You think of his ability to scramble and everything, which I think totally plays with IQ, by the way. He never takes big hits ever, yet somehow he's always on the move, and he's always trying to get those extra yards. Doesn't take big hits, doesn't turn the ball over, and is an elite pocket passer. Had a down year last year,
sure,
relative to what we expect from him.
But the thing that was down about him wasn't his ability to pass the ball in the pocket. He just didn't look the same as an athlete.
It was clearly he was hindered. Yes, exactly. It wasn't his IQ. So I'm taking Lamar.
Okay, I'm debating between 2 people here, and just because I hate one of them, I'm going to take somebody else. I'm going to take Dak. I think pre-snap, Dak is about as good as it gets. Yeah. Pre-snap, I think Dak's on the level of all the stuff you love about Stafford. Not to the extreme, because Stafford's probably seen, twice as many games as Dak Prescott has. But he's on that trajectory of we always thought Dak was this really good quarterback. He puts up these crazy stats, but what do they ever win? I think there's a world where Dak just continues to get better and better and better and better as he ages gracefully, because it's not like he uses his athleticism at all, and that holds him back from being one of the true elite quarterbacks. I think him playing in Dallas holds him back in a way too, or at least the conversation gets shifted around him. But I do think pre-snap and getting to the line of scrimmage and seeing the defense, he's about as good as it gets. Albeit the couple guys we've already named.
Has had some years where he's led the league in picks.
Sure.
I think that plays. Like, if you have a high IQ, you just don't throw a lot of picks, right?
That's true. Yeah. I probably should have taken the other guy. I just didn't want to.
I'm going to take the other guy.
You know what? I think I'm
I
wrong
hate this
for the
guy as
sole
well.
play that Dak had where he ran the ball up the middle of the field and then
When the
slid
clock ran out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
in a playoff game.
Right. I'm going to take the guy that we all hate, but clearly is one of the smartest guys there is. There's a reason why he would throw 2 interceptions every year. Technically, he's not in the league right now. Yes, he is. Aaron Rodgers is my next pick. Honestly, probably could have been a top 2 pick here. His ability has clearly gone down the drain, but his IQ is absurd for a quarterback. I mean, he is one of the smartest QBs there is. I hate to say it. I really, really dislike Aaron Rodgers.
I know.
But I will select him. Probably should have been off the board earlier, honestly.
Definitely.
Yeah. Dak over him is crazy.
You know what? Give me Goff. I think this is
Goff
the
would have been my
appropriate
next
time to
pick.
take Goff.
Yeah, Goff would have been my next pick.
Goff, like I said, pre-snap, also one of those guys. I think more so than pre-snap, Goff is so elite at just going through his reads. I love the slow motion replays where they're just like ultra zoomed in on Jared Goff's eyes, and he goes from 1, 2, 3, goes back to 1, lets it rip. Like, he goes through his reads like that, and it's so fun to watch. I think there's a lot of Lions fans out there that would prefer a mobile quarterback. We've been hearing about that for years. But there's something that you really appreciate about a guy like Jared Goff, who is a quarterback's coach at the end of the day. Like, they want his offensive input with the game plan. Once you reach that sort of level of excellence at the quarterback position,
Right.
That's a hard camp to get into, and he's certainly there. He might have even gone late in this draft, honestly.
I was going to take him. I was picking between Rodgers and him, and I would have taken Goff over Dak as well.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Okay, my next pick, it feels like Josh Allen, though. We can't disrespect him to the level that he's this low.
I was just going to say.
But I think there's one guy I will choose over him.
Sure.
Just because the reason why I'm taking this guy over Allen is because Allen just still does make some decisions that are just like, dude,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Last year specifically.
Yeah, he will make some passes that are just like, dude, Josh Allen. Like, what is that? What is that pass right there? So I will take Joe Burrow right here. That's going to be my next selection. Burrow is another one of those guys that is just, you talk about the quick reads thing. He might even be a little bit better at that than Jared Goff.
Yeah.
And he also has the way better arm talent than Goff does. Not to disrespect Goff by any means, but I'll take Joe Burrow here.
I don't know if he has the better arm talent. I think he just can move on the run a lot better.
Sure.
Or can throw on the run a lot
Yeah,
better.
I mean Burrow's ability, his deep ball is just
It's beautiful.
it's unreal. Yeah, so I'll take Joe Burrow here.
I'm going to take Joe Flacco. I'll take the other Joe. He's playing in the league at what, 42 years old,
Over
43
Josh
years old?
Allen?
Yeah. You got to be pretty smart to be playing at that age. I think he's the oldest player in the league, right?
Joe Flacco.
Yeah. And you can take Josh Allen.
That's
You can
crazy.
take once a game Josh Allen. Oh my God, what are you doing?
Yeah, but honestly, he still is.
I know,
We're not
I
going to
know.
say that he's not a smart quarterback because he's the MVP and he's the best quarterback in the league.
Second.
First. But the other guy's injured, so we can't count him.
Fine.
Yeah, Josh Allen, he's still the best quarterback in the league at the end of the day. So,
And guess who didn't get picked? Jalen Hurts.
oh, duh.
It's a full circle
Who
moment.
are you going to pick? You have one last pick. I had one more pick than you. It's certainly not C.J. Stroud,
No, it's not C.J.
a guy
Stroud.
who we thought might have been in here.
Kirk Cousins just got signed, but I'm not going to take a backup.
Kirk Cousins, what are we talking about?
I'll go Herbert.
I was thinking about Herbert. It's not a bad one.
No.
I think I can get on board with that.
I'll go Herbert. Honorable mention has to go to Caleb.
Tua?
Tua?
Caleb?
Sure.
Caleb,
Caleb doesn't put the ball in harm's way the same way that Rodgers doesn't.
I mean, I think that we could watch the end of that LA Rams game and think differently. I mean, that was the lowest IQ play that we've seen.
All right. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
989-837-6125.
Who's got better IQ, you or me?
Football IQ or just IQ in general?
However you want to interpret that.
I don't know. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mitt. All right, finally, we'll get into Michigan versus Arizona. When we come back, I've got an incredible stat for you regarding Michigan's history in the Final Four. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. I'll tell you where I'm headed after. It's the Greater Midland Community Center, your hub for health, wellness, and fun right here in the heart of Midland. From fitness classes, open gym, to swimming, youth sports, and family activities, there's something for everybody. Affordable memberships, expert staff, and a welcoming space for all ages and abilities. Hosting an event, ask about their rental spaces, and full-service event support. Stay active, stay connected, all under one roof at the Greater Midland Community Center.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh 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 yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
got a crazy Final Four stat for you, Kyle. So Michigan, their history in the Final Four is as followed. Since 1965, so really since the merger, which was, or not the merger, when they introduced the 64 team tournament, which was 86, they're 5-0. If you want to go all the way back to 1965, they're a perfect 6-0 in the Final Four. In 76, a win over Rutgers. In 89, a win over Illinois. Win over Cincinnati in 92. Win over Kentucky in 93. 2013, they beat Syracuse. And then in 2018, we all remember when they beat Loyola Chicago and ended their little tournament run. That's some pretty good history in the Final Four, man. That should make you feel pretty good about the Saturday game, which between Arizona and Michigan, I was trying to think of comparisons for what this was like. Just two juggernauts, two teams that look genuinely unbeatable and have looked unfazed through the season and the tournament. Neither finished undefeated, but I mean, that's a really hard feat to do. But for the most part, you throw them on, it's just like, oh yeah, this is clearly the best team in the country. Throw on the other team. Oh yeah, this is clearly the best team in the country. I feel like this is like Frazier and Ali. Like the first time they fought when both guys were undefeated, it was for the unanimous like heavyweight championship, the undisputed. Both guys held titles in like different boxing ranks or whatever. And then they finally went head to head in 1971. And it's like, let's find out once and for all who the best boxer is. That was like the only thing I could equivalate to this. Equivalate? The word? Maybe?
No.
I'm being looked at funny.
For
I
sure
guess
it's not.
That's the only thing I could compare this to. I thought like, hey, maybe this is like 2016 Cavs Warriors, something like that, where two teams just feel inevitable to meet. But this is different because they are so head and shoulders above every other team in the country. It feels like Duke was in that group as well, but obviously took the big loss to Connecticut.
Well, the issue is they're not meeting for the championship. You know,
I know,
it's hard
I
to
know.
equivalate. It's hard to compare it to that because it's not for the championship. It's not for the belt. It's not for the ring, whatever you want to call it. Like, you still have another game to play afterwards. And so I will actually counter and say that Saturday's game is not for the national championship. Like, I don't think it's just a lock guarantee that whoever wins the game wins it all.
It's a good zag because that's kind of the general consensus
It is.
right now. And I still kind of feel that way, though.
I don't think Illinois can win it all. I think UConn can.
Just because of the coaching
Because
advantage
they've been
they have
there.
over everybody.
Exactly. And, like, you don't just hit a shot like you did against Duke just to, like, have no chance to win it all. Like, that
I mean,
shot,
that's what Houston did.
that shot is something you do that, like, yeah, but Houston had a chance to win it all.
Oh, I see what you mean. I'm
Right,
talking.
like-
I meant in the final. Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean.
Like, to just count them out for anything, you know? Like, I think what UConn did, that can carry them to a national championship. That's something that is like the storybook, like, look at this is the third ring in 4 years, and look at the shot that they hit to get him into that spot. Like, I can already envision it.
It's kind of like when Jordan Poole hit the shot in the second round that propelled them all the way
Michigan
to.
goes to the national championship game. Exactly. And, of course, it didn't go the way that they wanted to, but I will zag and say I don't think the winner of Saturday's late game is just boom, lock it in, they're the national champions. And I think that might
a good zag.
I think the reason why might be because everybody's saying it. Like for the effort it's going to take for whether Michigan or Arizona to win that game, for everything that's going to have to go into that game.
It'll be a bloodbath.
Absolutely. To less than 48 hours later have to turn around and play for a national championship against a team that you, in your brain, you can be told by Dusty May 1,000 times, this team, like, this is just as big as a game as it was Saturday. The players know. Especially if it's Illinois, the players know. Man, we beat Illinois. We smacked up on Illinois already. We just give all this effort to beat Arizona. We're going to beat Illinois. We just beat Arizona.
Yeah.
You know, like, I could see that being something that potentially doesn't go as good.
It's a really good zag because it does feel like everyone is under the impression whoever wins the battle between Michigan and Arizona is going to win the national championship. And whoever wins that game will be favored. But it will come at a huge, like, that took everything we had physically and mentally and drained us. And now we have 48 hours to turn around. And if UConn can win handedly against Illinois and it's never really a game, I think it will be. But, like, let's say they end up winning by like 8-9 points and it's not like a bloodbath the way that we think the late game is going to be. They're going to have not just like a physicality rest advantage, but like a technical rest advantage too, because the games play after each other. It's a few hour difference, but the difference between, you know, when it's a 48-hour difference, every hour you get of rest matters. right? So the fact that UConn or Illinois is going to have that whole night to recover, and Michigan is going to be, where's the national Indy? So it's going to be midnight before they actually get done with the game and get to go rest. Got to get up and get your film in for the next game.
Yeah.
It starts immediately. So yeah, you're right. The other team does have a little bit of a rest advantage, and I wonder if they map that out on purpose.
Potentially.
Just to make it a little closer in the championship game.
I would think that they wanted that late game to be the prime time. I mean, that is the prime time slot, whether or not we like it. Or like
9 o'clock.
Yeah, but it's in the East Coast. Like in everywhere else, it's a prime slot on a Saturday night. That's the big time game. You don't. I mean, you go to a concert. Is the best performer performing first? No, they're last. Like the intro game is Illinois versus UConn.
Yeah,
they're the lead, and then of course you have the big game coming after. So I'm just super excited because Arizona's a team that doesn't take a ton of threes. Like that's been the style of team that has felt is going to be the team to beat Michigan all season long. Is this team that just shoots a ton of threes? They get hot, they win the game. Arizona's not that team. They 2 you to death. They'll score 100 points on twos, and they have a level of physicality that can match Michigan.
It's the only team in the country. It really is.
Yeah, and these are the two heavyweights all year. Like Arizona was the best team in the country. Think about all the times we were saying Michigan should be number one, even though Arizona's undefeated. Like, they're undefeated and everything, but Michigan should be number one. We were just kind of saying
even
that.
when they were both undefeated, Arizona was always the number one team for the beginning of the year, probably because they started the year higher.
They had no reason to fall from number one.
Right.
Exactly.
Even when Michigan was getting votes, it was like, we're not taking Arizona. These have been the two best teams all year.
Like Duke had the stretch.
Yes,
Duke had the stretch of being the best team.
But for the most part, these were the two best.
Correct. And it's fun that they get to meet. Like this is the reason for the people that are anti-upset, for the people that are anti-Cinderella, this is the reason why.
Yeah.
You get to see this game happen.
What's the better comparison than Ali Frazier? Because I really feel like this is what it is. I know it's not the championship, so it's not for the undisputed championship. But like these teams, even like you and I have talked about it with Michigan. We're going to look back in 3-4 years and be like, holy cow, whether they win it or not, of just like, look at the roster that this group had this year. No wonder they were so dominant. Arizona, maybe they have a very similar, like they're just massive, man. They're so much better than everybody that they've played so far this year. I'm having a hard time thinking of a comparison for these two schools that have levitated above everyone all year.
It gives me flashbacks of, and this is like, it's just another recent college basketball comparison, so this might not be the best thing, but it gives me flashbacks of when Gonzaga Baylor played in the tournament a couple of years ago
after the COVID,
the national championship game.
Yeah,
because it was another situation where it was these two teams are the best teams all year. It was the Zags and Baylor; those were the best teams all season long, and they finally met in the national title game, and it was a really good game, and Baylor pulled it out. Like it gives me a little bit of flashback of that. You could say even Gonzaga Purdue a couple years ago, like that's another similar story. The two best teams all year. Like
I don't disagree with you on that, but I will say college basketball is so much better than it was in 2021 when it was the year after the tournament. It was in that college basketball was in that weird spot where there was overtime lead and
even Baylor versus Gonzaga, there wasn't even fans there. Like that's
right.
I mean there was, but it wasn't a packed house. It was still a weird time of basketball. So
yeah,
I
can't wait for Saturday night. It really is going to be one of, if you like college basketball, this is obviously, it goes without saying for everybody here because you've got a team invested in it.
RP says USA versus Russia, miracle on ice game. I don't think anything could compare to that, right?
Probably not, but yeah, we'll see. 989-837-6125, 11 o'clock hour on the way. More on the Lions when we come back. A proposed trade I have for everybody listening. It's the Ben Bosscher Show.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9.
Trick Studios. This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, welcome back in. 11 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Yiter Insurance. Life happens fast, and at Yiter Insurance, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yiter has the right coverage for every stage of life. The Lions proposed trade that we had thrown out to everybody. It's fascinating because we got a lot of mixed reactions about it. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. It simply depends on how you're viewing this season. If you view this season as a must-win, go all in for the Super Bowl, we're trying to do this thing right now and right here, and we're going to go contend, then the answer to this trade is obviously no. But if you think, hey, I don't think the Lions are good enough as it is right now, let's do the thing that Brad Holmes always talked about and extend the window, sustainable success for years to come, then I think you actually do have to say that this is probably a good trade. The actual trade itself is from NFL.com. Eric Edholm says the Lions get pick 7, so they move up from pick 17 to 7. They get a third-round pick in 2027 back, and they get tight end Ben Sinnott. Washington gets Sam LaPorta, the 17th pick, and a 2026 sixth-round pick. So you move up from the 6th to the 3rd round and do it 1 year later, and you move up from pick 17 to pick 7, basically in exchange for Sam LaPorta. Again, I don't think it's crazy to entertain this. And if this were to happen on draft day, let's say the board unfolds, you view Francis Mauigoa as the number 1 tackle in the class. You view him as the best guy. And all of a sudden, pick 7 rolls around, and Arizona at pick 3 took an edge rusher, and Cleveland surprised everybody and took Caleb Lomu or Caden Proctor with that 6th pick, and they were the first tackle off the board. And you always viewed Mauigoa as that first guy. And all of a sudden, he's still available at 7, and ring, ring, Washington's calling you. You at the very least have to talk about it. I don't think this is, unlike a lot of the Lions trades that we see, Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, Jahmyr Gibbs, we're going to trade. Unlike a lot of those, this is a real package that I think is worth entertaining. It's not a hang up the phone type of trade package. And depending on who's there at 7, I think you have to entertain it, especially because as of right now, I just don't believe that the Lions are going to be able to pay LaPorta and Gibbs and Campbell and Brian Branch, all of which were drafted in the same draft class. I don't think they're going to be able to pay all of these guys, and LaPorta's going to be due for about $17 to $20 million per season when he gets this contract extension. You free that up, you get more draft capital, you get your tackle of the future, you get picks down the road, you get some more cap space, and you get a little younger at the tight end position because you're probably drafting a tight end on day 3, and hopefully that they can hit the ground running. The reasons to not do it is you're trading away a really good player. Again, I think this comes down to your perspective on how you think the season's going to go. If your goal is to win the Super Bowl, you don't do it. If your goal is to extend the window, yeah, I think you do. So I'm kind of taking a cop-out answer. But I guess I'm not yet at the position to where I know if they're a Super Bowl contender or not because I still want to see how the draft unfolds. But if this call comes through on draft day and Maui Goa or whoever the Lions view as their number 1 tackle is still on the board at 7, man, I think I'm doing it.
It also just depends on how much you know about LaPorta's injury.
Yes.
Like, how much do the Lions really know about this? If they know maybe a little bit more that they don't feel confident he's going to be 100% this entire season,
they've been quiet about it.
Then like maybe you do try to move off him. It's kind of a slimy thing to do, but like it's something that teams do all the time. But I also think if you take the injury completely out of this, if you were just told, yeah, Sam LaPorta, he's healthy. He's going to be fine this season. Unless something else happens, like his back, he's fine going into this year. I don't even think it's about that. It is just about the contract.
It's a financial trade.
The more and more I think about it, it's all about the deal. It's all about the contract that you really can't give him. And if you do, then that means you can't give it to someone else. You can't pay Brian Branch.
Right.
It's at the end of the day, they have to cut ties with somebody from that class because they were too good. And they have already paid everybody else, too. Like, that 23
good problem
class
to have.
is just – it's unfortunate. It sucks that it goes down that way. But it's all about the contract, and that's why I'm starting to lean more and more into, like, I don't hate the idea. And it's not like this trade specifically, but just the idea of trading Sam LaPorta to get draft capital. It's an idea that I have not really thought about and until now. And I still don't like it. I still think Sam LaPorta makes his team way better than if he's not on it. We saw that, obviously, last year. I think that was the reason, or that was the checkpoint when the Lions season started to go downhill. The second Sam LaPorta went out. So trading away good players when you think you're a good team, whether or not you think this year is a go all in for Super Bowl, extend the window or not, Sam LaPorta helps both of those if he's playing. The issue is he playing? Can you pay him? There's a lot of question marks, of course. It's definitely an idea that you would have to consider. No doubt about it.
With Sam LaPorta specifically, I look at the rest of the pieces on this offense. Obviously, Amon-Ra is always going to be option 1 in the receiving game. J-Mo kind of took the title as option 2 from Sam LaPorta. And Jahmyr Gibbs still exists in terms of, like, what is Dan Campbell always going to want to do? He wants to run the football. So between Gibbs and J-Mo, who they've already paid, and Amon-Ra, Sam LaPorta is kind of at the end of the day, not kind of, he just is your 4th option on offense. To trade away your 4th option, when you put it this way, obviously he's better than any other 4th option in the NFL. But if you're going to trade away your 4th option, you get to move up 10 picks in the first round to do so, into the top 10, and you get a 3rd round pick to do it. When you put it that way, it's kind of enticing. Depending on how you phrase this in general, like there's a lot of ways that make you lean one way or the other. And I know it's a little bit of a cop-out to be like, well, it just depends how you think about it. Like, but it totally does. This is a totally choose your own, how this can benefit you type of trade. If you want Sam LaPorta to stick around, guess what? It's going to be great, and you're going to continue to have an awesome offense, assuming you can patch together an offensive line. If you trade him away and you go get your offensive line tackle, your starting tackle, the future at pick 7, okay, now like your offensive line is going to be great, and you can get the ball to J-Mo more because last year they weren't able to do that because Jared Goff was constantly under pressure. Couldn't get him involved in the deep shots, right? Like this is, it could be a win either way. Like you do nothing and you're going to be fine, and you never think about it again. You do it. I don't think they're like, as long as this left tackle that you draft or this right tackle that you draft hits, you're feeling okay about it. And it's just a difference of like, do we think we can get a left tackle at 17? How big is the difference between that person and the person at pick 7? I think, let's put it this way. If 2 tackles are off the board, pick 7 rolls around, Washington calls, I'm probably hanging up. Oh, my top 2 tackles are off the board? No thanks.
Which the Lions have a history of maybe not having the same big boards as other teams. You know, they clearly prioritize some players over others. But, yeah, that was the whole purpose, that you're trading a good player away. I want to make sure I'm getting a really good player in return.
Yeah. We're not trading up for the pick. We're trading up for a player that we can get there.
That's the whole point. And so whether or not this would be this feels like something that would have to go down draft night.
Yes. 100%.
It couldn't be something that you do a week before the draft and then just hope that it works out at pick 7.
And I'll tell you what, the position that the Lions are in, I hope everything's on the table. Like, they have to answer the phone for everything. And if someone says we want Sam LaPorta, it's not like you're just hanging up the phone right away with the situation they find themselves in. You got to talk things out, and that's what we're doing right now.
I mean, we had talked about potentially trading down in the draft to acquire more draft capital. This is just a different way of going about acquiring more draft capital.
Yeah. You're trading up. It's a
major way of doing it. Yeah, it's a very impactful way of doing it from next year's team. But I do think that this could potentially, like you talk about splitting the road of going all in this year or extending the window. Of course, this extends the window just from it's a contract you don't have to give out.
It's cap relief.
It's cap relief, plus you get a young player that you probably like more than the guy you would have gotten at 17. But this just depends on, are the Lions absolutely taking a left tackle, or I don't know why I keep saying left tackle, taking a tackle in the draft? Because if you're just 100% that's the route that they're going, then this makes sense. Mm-hmm. Because you just get to get a better guy than you're going to get at pick 17. At pick 17, you don't really know. You don't know what's going to be there.
All of them could be gone.
It's so hard to plan out what's going to happen throughout an entire first round of an NFL draft. That's so many different things that go down. So this, of course, improves your chances of doing so. If they don't know what they're taking in the first round at 17, not that they don't know, but they're open to their options, edge rusher, hell, even maybe doing some weird stuff, who knows, then this does not make sense to do.
You know what else I just thought of, too? LaPorta could have been paid last offseason, you know? Like,
they chose J-Mo.
They chose J-Mo. And I think that shouldn't just go unnoticed. They didn't have to pay J-Mo last offseason. That's why it was so shocking when the Saturday before the Lions' first game, it was just like, hey, J-Mo just got a huge contract. He wasn't even in a contract year. If it was the following season, you could have picked up his 5th-year option. He was nowhere near, needing a new contract. And they just decided this is the guy we're going with. They didn't do that with LaPorta. And I was very advocate number 1 that LaPorta should be the guy they lock up before J-Mo. Not that I didn't like J-Mo, but I just thought LaPorta was more valuable. Look, I understand LaPorta's value. It's not like I'm just ignoring how great of a blocker he was, how much of a third down weapon he was for the Jared Goff-led offense. He's a great part of this team. It's also really important that they find another tackle to play across from Penei Sewell, because right now Larry Borum's just not cutting it from that spot. So would it be a tough decision? Absolutely. Again, with the situation they find themselves in, back against the wall from a cap standpoint, that's what you get for the foreseeable future. That's not changing anytime soon unless you make a trade like this.
Well, and hey, the Lions in Brad Holmes traded away T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Slightly different because that wasn't a Brad Holmes guy.
The situation made sense. Yeah.
They were bad at the time.
The situation made more sense for them to do it, but it's a position, a good player at a position going into a contract that they traded away before. You know, it's been done.
Yeah. I think it's fascinating. Let's get to what a couple people have to say about this. 989-837-6125. Yes, make this deal unless Brad is about to pay Sam LaPorta. Move up into the first and get a third next year, which you could use to trade up into the third-round pick this year. That's a good point. Because maybe, I don't know what Washington's pick situation looks like, so maybe they have an abundance of third-round picks, 27, that's why they're able to trade one. Then you could use next year's third to get back into this year's third. Then you have a third in both picks.
Right.
Because it's not like you'd be giving up your third in 27. You'd have just 2 of them at that point. That's a good second move in this move. Because Brad Holmes, more than once, has made one move in the draft, and it's led to a second move in the draft. The 23 one, he made 12 moves, it felt like. He moved back from 6 to 12, and then he had pick 12 and 18, and then he traded back again to go get LaPorta or something like it was weird. I can't even remember all of it.
What is LaPorta's value, do you think? Just straight up, if you took out the moving up thing, what is LaPorta's worth? It's not a first, right? No way. Just because of the contract and injury. The player-wise, you could say, sure, but everything involved.
I think it's more than a second and a fourth.
Second plus, yeah. I mean, it's basically what Hawkinson went for, yeah.
Then I think it'd be worth a little bit more, right? Wouldn't be a second and third. That feels like too much.
No, it's too much.
Moving up 10, it's so hard to understand
Yeah.
what a players' trade values are in the NFL.
It's so difficult.
But I think it's about that, a second and a fourth, or moving up 10 picks in the draft plus additional pick the next
Moving
day.
up 10 picks is like people just
That's
don't.
substantial.
It's huge. It's such a big thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's the difference between taking potentially the second or first best tackle in the class versus settling for the sixth one or whatever one's still available.
It was like when the Lions moved up 20 spots in the first round to get J-Mo a couple years ago and didn't have to give up an additional first-round pick to do so. It was like a
crazy
It was
deal.
an unreal thing that actually happened.
That doesn't get enough credit. Like, we always talk
20
about
spots?
the 23 draft class as like this incredible, oh my God, look at how many guys they got. The fact that Holmes walked away from the first round in the 22 class with Hutch and J-Mo, that deserves just as much credit as the 23
without giving
class.
up an extra first doing it. Yeah. Crazy.
He fell. He was hurt.
Gary says throw Giovanni Manu in the trade as well, frees up a roster spot.
Just cut him. Nobody wants that guy. I don't think he's going to be on the team this year. Matt says, I don't see getting that much for him in pick 17, but I'd consider it. Seventh can obviously get us a decent piece that they need. A third-round pick would be nice to replace Sam LaPorta in the tight end spot. Yeah, I think that's what it would be.
What if they traded up to draft a tight end?
At 7, the Oregon guy?
Yeah, the Sadiq guy.
Yeah.
Just do the Hawkinson Ebron thing again. You know, every 5 years you got to do it.
Tony says, why is everybody proposing LaPorta trades? He's great for the Lions. I don't disagree. But the reason that we're proposing LaPorta trades is because they already committed to J-Mo. They already committed to Amon-Ra. There's no way they're trading Jahmyr Gibbs. They already traded one of their other running backs. How do you find financial cap relief? Because right now you don't have any cap space. That you saw that in free agency this year. That's not changing anytime soon. You relieve yourself financially by trading away one of the contracts that you're supposed to pay. That's why. It has nothing to do with LaPorta and everything to do with the financials. This is a financial trade. 989-837-6125. Let's do one more text, and then we'll move on to the Tigers. Ken says, with that trade, you're losing a very good tight end. Look what happened last year when LaPorta went down. That position was very thin, and a new offensive coordinator, Petzing, who loves using the tight ends the most. Yeah, you're like, whoever's making the case that LaPorta held the offense together, and when he went down, it fell apart. I have no counter to you. Like, you're right. You are 100% right about that. That's when it felt like they really couldn't block for worth anything. LaPorta setting the edge in the blocking game was way undervalued when he was playing. When he was out, we saw it actually, what he did. When he was missing, we saw how valuable he really was. With the Petzing thing, yeah, he had Trey McBride last year and not a lot of other weapons out in Arizona. I think that's the reason more than anything that Trey McBride had the season that he did as the best tight end in the NFL last year. Now he comes in and he has a lot of quotes about, well, I adapt to my personnel. Last year I had Trey McBride. This year I have LaPorta and J-Mo and Amon-Ra Gibbs. Like, I don't have one specific scheme that I have to go to. I'm going to balance this thing out depending on who I have. And now I have a very balanced offense. So I'm not as worried about that. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We'll get to the Tigers when we come back. Protect your home with Bresky Siding and Building Repair. They're the experts who bring you our show today. Mr. Appliance is your go-to fast, reliable home appliance repair right here in Midland. From refrigerators and ovens to washers and dryers and more, they'll get you back up and running with confidence. Keep your home running smooth with Mr. Appliance. Schedule service today at MrAppliance.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and on 100.9 The Mitt.
Couple disheartening stats about the Tigers through 6 games. They're one of 2 teams to be shut out twice in baseball so far this season, them and the Giants. They have 1 home run, which is maybe the most damning part about all of this. Every other team has 3 or more. The Dodgers have like 10. How do you have 1 home run through 6 games? Not to overreact, not to freak out. I'm not panicking. There's still so much time left in the season, but you're dead last in home runs. What gives? There was so much emphasis on everyone's so mad at Riley Green that he hit 36 home runs. Oh, we want you to flatten out your swing. We want you to have better approaches at the plate. Look, all that thing can be true. Guess what? We need Riley Green to hit some home runs, man. Dillon Dingler's the only guy with the home run. They have 1 home run. You need to hit home runs to go to a World Series. It's the biggest determining factor on who wins playoff series. I'm not freaking out quite yet, but this offense has been infuriating to watch because it's not like they're bad. They're just inconsistent. They've scored in 2 different innings in the past 4 games. 4 games, 36 innings. They have scored in 2 of them, and they're 0-4 during that stretch. It makes you want to pull your hair out. Tarek Skubal was on the mound yesterday. He gives up 1 solo shot. That's the only run the Tigers allow all game, and somehow Tarek Skubal doesn't walk away with the win because they failed to score a run because they got shut out for the 2nd time already this season. Infuriating to watch.
Is losing 1-0, your favorite baseball team losing 1-0, like the most frustrating thing there is in sports?
Gotta be.
It's so frustrating.
Gotta be.
Because it's just a long burn, especially if the team goes up 1-0 early, like Arizona did, and you're just the whole game having to it's just 1 run.
And it gets more and more believable that it's just not going to happen as every inning goes by.
They're not going to lose 1-0, right? They're not going to lose 1-0. Like, come on, that's not going to happen. And like you said, it just each inning goes by and you're like, oh yeah, it is going to happen.
And every time you leave a runner in scoring position, you're just like, they're going to score 0 runs. Like, they're not going to score.
Well, that's the weird part about this lineup. It's just like, you show the stat of 2 innings they've scored in the last 4 games. They've scored 11 runs in those 2 innings.
Right.
Like, it's not like they've scored 2 runs total. Like they when they do put it together, they really put it together.
Yeah, the floodgates open up. The dam opens.
I would rather that just be like every 2 or 3 innings, though, they score a couple runs.
Yeah,
right?
a little bit more consistency.
I think everybody would rather have that. So
yeah, like that game where they blew a 5-1 lead, 6 hits, 5 runs in total, all happened in 1 inning. They had 6 hits a whole game, all happened in 1 inning. They were hitless in 8 innings.
And it's, some of their guys are having good individual seasons so far. Like Colt Keith, Kevin McGonigal tied for the lead on the team in hits. Like no one else is really even close to them. But those guys are having good years. It's not being put together by the rest of the offense.
Which is what we became so frustrated with time and time again last season. So,
yeah.
Unfortunately, even with the addition of McGonigal and with him like genuinely being the best bat that the Tigers have right now, it's not all that different of an offense because there were some players due for regression, and we've seen that come to fruition already. Like Zach McKinstry, he hasn't really been a big contributor. Kerry Carpenter, the biggest guy that's regressed so far this season. I think that's going to turn around at some point. He has to crush lefties or righties at some point. That's been a huge disappointment in the first 2 series. Torkelson's had a couple big RBI hits, but for the most part, like no torque bombs yet, no Riley Green bombs yet. Even though he had a fine series against Arizona with multiple doubles, no bombs yet. The 1 home run thing, it's like, come on, like small ball's fun.
That's the most frustrating thing to me. Like
small ball's fun. You got to be able to like. I know there's a lot of Tigers fans last year who are like, come on, man, like this batting average overrated stat. But the walks, like they didn't walk enough. They're too home run dependent. Now it's like, okay, maybe we course corrected, like or went too far. Now we have to course correct. Man, we got to hit some bombs. This is 2026, man. Let's have some fun. You know what's fun? Home runs. Home runs are fun.
Home runs are really fun. Like, for all the people that don't love the advanced stats, like I was going to throw out this stat. You got Colt Keith, Kevin McGonigal, Dillon Dingler, all with 950-plus OPSs. You want to know the next best OPS on the team right now?
600?
600 from Gleyber Torres. Like, it's that big of a gap from the best 3 guys on the team right now. For all the people that don't like those stats, let's do a simple stat.
Hold on. OPS is not an advanced stat. I mean, come on.
You're right, it's not, but it's kind of viewed as that from some casual baseball fans, I guess.
I mean, if you're still viewing OPS as an advanced stat, I got some news for you, man. You're watching a different sport than all of us.
Anyways, here's a simple non-advanced stat. Home runs. They've hit 1. Like
Dead last.
it's the easiest thing. Oh, teams that are good, they score runs, hit home runs. Like having 1 through 6 games it's ridiculous. And I was making the point earlier of like, man, they're returning home. They get to come back to Detroit. They've been on the road. It's whatever. The more and more I think about it,
It's a tough place to hit home runs.
no, they've been in the West Coast, man. They're playing in warm weather.
Right.
They get to come back to Detroit where it's raining and cold and 40 degrees, and we expect them to start hitting home runs? Like, I don't know. That doesn't really make sense in my brain.
In a park where it's difficult to hit home runs.
Yeah, like, to me, they should have been hitting all these home runs on the West Coast.
Yeah.
In Arizona, man, that's like the number one place I want to be right now.
and it's not like, again, it's been 2 series, but now that it's been 2 series, it takes 2 series to overcome what you did. You know, if you have another series where you don't really hit any home runs, guess what? It takes 3 series to now make up for that. You know, like every series that goes
they
by,
stack up.
It does stack up, and it stacks up quick. It's like, oh, yeah, they've only played 6 games. Okay, but when we're talking on Monday, all of a sudden they've played 3, and if they're still dead last in home runs, that's going to take more than just 1 series to make up for, you know?
Totally. Yeah, it's absolutely
becoming less and less of an overreaction every series that goes by. And they happen in the blink of an eye. You know, you go into the weekend, all of a sudden you've played 3 series.
Yeah, and we made the determination yesterday. I think once you get through the first 4 series of the year, I don't know. I mean, that just feels like the right number. It's near a month, not really, but
Not really at all.
yeah. Once you get to the first 4 series of the year, I think that's when we have officially moved out of overreaction territory. Like that, we've seen a good amount of baseball now, and once you get through a month, then you're absolutely out of it. But so they have this weekend, they have the next couple home series to really figure it out. I am excited for this series against the Cardinals. Like I'm not like panicking about the Tigers or anything.
No, nobody is. Nobody's
Because
hitting
they're
the
finally
panic
back
button.
home, and you can see Verlander back at home, Framber Valdez making his home debut. Like that is exciting stuff to see. You have the top prospect Kevin McGonigal, J.J. Weatherholt of the Cardinals is off to an awesome start to his rookie season. That's going to be fun to watch. But yeah, the offense sucks. That's the number one takeaway through the first 6 games.
It's just, I mean, but they're halfway up the standings in terms of runs scored. They rank 15th. It's inconsistent. That's what it is. It's extremely inconsistent. Boring floors, sad showers, Premier Tile and Stone is here to rescue your surfaces from the snooze zone. These folks, they turn tile into art. I'm talking about kitchens, bathrooms, backsplashes, fireplaces. If it holds still, they'll tile it beautifully. Locally owned in Midland, but their work looks like it belongs in a magazine that charges $15 an issue. Stop dreaming, start scheming. Visit the showroom and let your interior designer run wild. That's Premier Tile and Stone, where your floors get fabulous and grout gets glorious.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100. Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, Kyle Sandel, it is your time to shine. Tell us what is going on in the world of sports.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Okay, we're back into the news. We did have something go on. I think this happened during the show, maybe right before the show. But Kirk Cousins is signing with the Las Vegas Raiders, and we got the contract details as well. He's kind of getting a little bit of a bag from the Raiders. 1 year, $20 million deal, essentially. So this is he's getting $10 million, but he's also getting $10 million from the Falcons, so it's $20 million total he's getting paid. Shout out to Kirk Cousins, though. Is he gonna play any games for the Raiders, you think?
Probably not. When you draft a guy 1.01, I think the expectation's to play right away. So unless Mendoza gets hurt, I would guess Kirk Cousins is getting $20 million to be his quarterback's coach.
Yeah, Clint Kubiak was the OC in Minnesota for some years
That's right.
with Kirk Cousins during that time, so makes some sense for a little bit of rejoining there. We also got some baseball news during the show today. Connor Griffin, baseball's #1 prospect, the only guy that Kevin McGonigal is behind on basically every single prospect site that you look at, is being called up to the major leagues after just 6 games. Without him, the Pirates are calling him up, so now they have a fun little young trio of Paul Skeens, the best pitcher in baseball potentially, best right-hander at least, and Connor Griffin.
This is, you said trio?
Did I say trio? I
Yeah.
just meant, not trio.
This is so funny to me, though, because why would you not just have him on the opening day roster? This is not service time manipulation. He would have had to spend 2 weeks in Toledo. He's totally eligible for that. Like, the Pirates are eligible for the compensation for keeping him on the opening day roster if he finishes AL Rookie of the Year. But they didn't have him on the opening day roster. Like, what are the Pirates doing? It's a weird move. Just have him on the opening day roster if you're going to call him up that soon.
Yeah, they probably should have. But they're the Pirates, so they don't do a lot of smart things.
No, they don't.
Not all the time. Okay, Kevin Warren, the Bears president, yesterday mentioned about their new stadium that's potentially coming. He says the decision on whether or not that's happening or not is going to be in late spring, early summer. So we're going to find out in the next couple of months whether or not the Chicago Bears will become the Hammond Bears, the Gary Bears, whatever you want to
The
call them.
Indiana Bears. I almost hope, just for the laughing sake of it, that they go to Indiana.
I
Just
really
to make
hope they
fun
do.
of them.
It's so funny.
The Bears fans, I have a couple friends that live in Chicago that grew up there that are Bears fans. They're going to be so pissed. They're going to be
I think
mad.
everybody is, right? I mean, like, of course,
It's just
Soldier
so
Field
inconvenient.
they've needed a new field. Like, it's been a new stadium. It's been a thing for quite some time, but
It's just so inconvenient.
for this to be the thing, yeah. Okay, college basketball news. Bill Self announces he will return to Kansas and be the head coach next year. There was rumors about him retiring after this season. There's been rumors for a couple of years now. He's dealt with a good amount of health concerns over the last several seasons, but he will return as the Jayhawks head coach next season. So that's good news. Did you see this fun? You got something about that?
I like it when coaches are, like, good coaches are in college basketball, so good that he's
100%. Kind of a coincidence the UNC coach hasn't been hired yet, though, huh? With Michigan versus Arizona happening this
Relax.
weekend?
Relax.
Interesting. Did you see this fun news? J. Cole is signing with the Chinese League's Nanjing Monkey Kings to play basketball.
It's got to be a made-up name. That's awesome, though. This is, the third pro league that he's been in. He played in an African league, played in some other league. J. Cole got a shot to him, man.
He's a bucket.
Yeah.
All these
Yeah,
other
he is.
rappers that talk about basketball all the time, I mean, like, they can't do it like J. Cole.
I want to know who wins in a LA Fitness pickup game. J. Cole's team or Adam Sandler's team?
I mean, J. Cole's better, but Sandler's got the IQ,
Yeah, Sandler's got, like,
the baggy shorts.
He's got the baggy shorts. He's got kind of like the Jason Kidd thing going for him. He's a bucket too, and he's got the flashy passes. Do you think J. Cole's just like what's his motive behind this?
He probably just likes hooping, like he's competitive, right? And maybe the men's league type of stuff is just not enough for him.
It's got to be a little bit of a
PR thing.
PR thing, but also like a Make-A-Wish,
Like a stunt?
Not a stunt, but like there's no way he'd be just getting tryouts if he wasn't famous, you know? Do you remember when the Pistons
Sure.
tried him out? He has a song about that.
That's
or not a
right.
song about that, but a line about that. Something like, I got my shot, just ask the Pistons. And it's like, oh man, that was a dark time when we were trying out rappers and, well, another rapper too, and the third Ball brother.
Yeah, LiAngelo Ball. I was just about to
LiAngelo
say
Ball
that.
and J. Cole both got tryouts for the Pistons.
LiAngelo
Incredible.
Ball, man, he should have made the roster. Okay, a couple more things. Let's move to the NBA. Victor Wembanyama continued to improve his MVP case last night. 41 points. It's back-to-back 40-point games for the 7'5" man. He's now plus 300 to win the MVP. Man, him, Luka, and Shea have just all been dominating lately, really trying to make their case for the MVP. Shea, though, still the heavy favorite.
I think it should be Wemby. I've made my case pretty clear. 41 points. I think it's 40-plus in back-to-back games. They play again today.
Yep,
I just think these guys are just outdoing each other in every way. It's like, oh, he's going to score 42. Guess what? I'm getting 45 tonight. It's just the craziest battle ever. I love it.
It's awesome.
It leads to entertaining hoops this time of year.
Speaking of big-time scoring, last night, the Boston Celtics against the Miami Heat scored 53 points in the first quarter. In one quarter, they scored 53 points. It's the second most ever in the first quarter of a game. 55 was the record. I cannot believe that. How do you score 53 points in one quarter?
How many threes did they hit?
No idea. Had to have been
Probably a
ton.
lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's just that's so many points to score. Some interesting stuff going on in the NFL. Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua is headed to rehab. This, of course, comes after multiple things have gone down with Puka this offseason. He bit somebody, I think, right? That was the thing that happened last with him.
Yeah, well, that happened on New Year's Eve, and apparently he checked himself into this Hawaiian rehab right after this. To me, going to Hawaii for rehab just sounds like a vacation from life. Like, what are we talking about, man? Oh, no, I'm checking myself into... Bro, you went to Hawaii. It sounds great.
It does sound great. He's Hawaiian, is he not?
He's...
Or he has some Hawaiian...
I don't know if it's Hawaiian or just Pacific Islander, but yeah, something.
Maybe him and Tiger
he's
Woods
a weirdo,
can
man.
link up.
Go get right.
He is a weirdo. You're right. Two
He
more
went-
things.
Can I just say one
Yeah,
more
for
thing
sure.
about him? It's funny that he went from by far just the most loved, adorable NFL wide receiver, and then week 17 rolled around last year. It's just like, hey, I'm actually going to become the most controversial guy in the league
Literally.
overnight.
The
I'm going to say
second that Cooper
anti-Semitic
Kupp
stuff.
left, just stuff started going down.
It was weird. He went on that stream with Aiden Ross
Oh,
and he said
yeah.
the anti-Semitic stuff. Now he's biting people and allegedly saying more anti-Semitic
Publicly
stuff.
drunk all the time.
Yeah, just like, and then he started complaining about the officials. Remember that? He was tweeting
Freaking
about
out during
that.
the game. Yeah, going on his phone like the second after the game ended. Yeah, like really weird stuff going on there. A couple more things here in the news. Sticking it in the NFL. Mike Vrabel does not dismiss the A.J. Brown trade talk. It was brought up to him, and he did not deny anything that the Patriots are interested in trading for A.J. Brown. You've made your case. You think it's going to happen, right?
I think he's going to the Patriots, yeah.
It will just continue to be talked about. It was Collins' lead yesterday, so this will just never.
Makes sense.
This will never end.
I think it goes down on draft night.
Final thing here in the news: the NCAA is proposing a proposal to bar players who are opting in to the NBA draft. They're basically just trying to prevent whatever happened this past season with the guys who had entered the NBA draft before from coming back. And the reason why there's a weasel room around it is because the NCAA currently has a 5-year playing period that you have 5-year period where you can play college basketball. And of course, you can get years added on top of that. But the reason why those guys were able to return is because they were freshman or sophomore that left, played a year or two in the NBA or G League or whatever it was, and were able to come back because it still fit that 5-year window. And so the NCAA is trying their best to end any of that, which it's just odd that they can't just do it.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is good for the sport.
I would hope
Think
so.
players that are drafted can't come back.
Or have entered the draft. Anyone that just forgoes their college eligibility will no longer be able to return. That's what they're trying to do.
Probably
at
a good
least.
thing.
I would think so. Okay, that's it.
I did find that J. Cole has referenced the Pistons in 2 songs, okay? One of Friends on the KOD album. He says, every black boy want to be Pippin, but they only got 12 slots on the Pistons bar. And then in Waterboys on one of the Dreamville albums, this one's kind of crazy because we were talking about how he got the tryout on the Pistons. The line is, there's too many bags. I can't do the math. I need a statistician. I think I might enter the draft. Boy, I got a ratchet. Ask the Pistons. That's cold, man. Every time I hear it, I'm like, that's sweet, but also really sad that the Pistons were at a point one time in the franchise where they had to give a rapper a tryout because their team was so bad.
I'm scared as hell of the Detroit Pistons.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. We will do our 3 traditions to close out every show when we come back. If you're looking for a steady hand when it comes to your financial future, Kevin Spencer with Edward Jones is right here in our community. Takes the time to understand what matters most to you and helps build a strategy to get you there. Reach out to Kevin Spencer at Edward Jones today because your goals deserve a plan that's personal.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. We've got 3 traditions to close out every show. No time to waste. Let's hop right into it. It is the lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
This MVP race is so awesome in the NBA. Like I said during the news, I feel like there's just one guy throws a punch, the other guy throws a punch. Everyone's battling for this thing. Wemby has 41 yesterday. And then the 2 other guys that are like in the race, it's really just a 2-man race between Wemby and Shea. But Luka's kind of in it, not really. Either way, Luka and Shea go head to head today. Lakers and Thunder go head to head.
Wow.
I'm going. Shea responds. Shea responds to the Victor Wembanyama 41 and has 35 tonight because that's the only way to get plus odds on him to score. Because his over-under is like 34.5 or 33.5 or something like that. I just think it's 5. The Lakers don't really defense. That's not really the Lakers thing. It's not really Luka Doncic's thing. So I'll go with Shea to score 35 against a bad Lakers team in a response to Wemby's 40-point performance yesterday. Taylor fade.
This is plus 190, by the way.
Thought it was plus 180, but if you have it down as 190.
Well, you told me 190. I'm just going with whatever you said.
Sure.
So that's what we have it at. This is like really good odds for Shea to score 35. I mean, this seems like a little off. I almost like don't really believe you. But
I thought it was 180.
Well, I mean, we have it as plus 190, so there's nothing I can do to change it right now.
We can put it in the spreadsheet as what it actually is, unless it's something totally
Is it
different.
plus 180?
I'm looking right now.
Okay. You did hit yesterday, by the way. Wemby to score 6 points in the first quarter. He scored like 16 or something. So
this
that was
might
a
be
good
the
way to
new
get
meta
off.
of just take points for these
the guys
MVP
that are
guys.
going for the MVP, especially Wemby, of all of them.
Yeah.
So you are off to a plus 0.62 start in the month of April so far. Still down 3.5 units though in 2026.
He's plus 186 right now. So
We'll keep it at plus 190. It probably was plus 190 then. I'm going to tail this. I think this is a pretty good bet. Like you said, the Lakers. I mean, this is probably going to be a game where Shea and Luka each score like 40. So I kind of like this one.
can I give you another one that I really like? I did this last Saturday.
Double lock of the day.
It's not a double lock of the day. I'll just keep it with that
Okay.
first one. But last Saturday when the Pistons were playing the Thunder, it's like, okay, this is the kind of the game where I wouldn't want to take Jalen Duren's over just because Gobert's down there. So who's going to score? I just thought Tobias was going to have to put the team on his back a little bit, and he totally did. Him to score 15 is plus odds.
Interesting.
And it is again today. It's even odds at plus
Maybe
100.
Danis Jenkins puts the team on his back too.
Sure. But it could happen. I think they're both going to need to do it if that's going to be the case. So last Saturday I did this, and it was like plus 120. Now it's only plus 100. So I like Tobias to score 15 tonight too. But the lock of the day is Shea to score 35. I really regret that. I really wish it was Tobias to score.
You regret it now. Wow.
I just like this Tobias bet more.
Maybe I should fade then. He's not even confident in his own pick.
It's not that I'm not confident. I'm more confident. I mean, the odds reflect that.
Right.
All right.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right. Next tradition. What's must-see TV today?
Game of the day.
It just can't be the Pistons, right? It's been the Pistons a couple times, even without Cade. I think it has to be this Thunder Lakers game. I think it just has to be the two guys that score the most in the league going toe to toe. 2 Western Conference top 3 seeds going toe to toe. It's the Lakers. You got LeBron in there too. It's only the 3rd time they played. Lakers are trying to avoid a sweep. They'd have to lose 2 more times to the Thunder, but I think that's going to be my game of the day. Any pushback? Is there a crazy MLB game I'm missing out on? 2 aces.
No. I mean, this makes sense, right? This could be a potential Western Conference Finals matchup. Like, it has the juice to potentially do that. So, this has got to be the game. I'm just double-checking to see. I mean, there's no college basketball on today. Women's tournament's not going on. MLB is really your only option here. And, I don't know, does Braves, Diamondbacks do it for you?
Well, there's only 3 MLB games on
Yeah,
today.
exactly.
Yeah. Then it's going to be Lakers versus Thunder as our game of the day.
Game of the day.
I got 2 words for you. Steve Nash and Chris Paul. Must-see TV.
All right, last thing we got to guess what Colin's going to open with. I scored a point yesterday.
No one did.
Oh, no one did. Oh, yeah, because there's A.J.
Philadelphia Eagles lead. Yeah.
So smart.
Interesting. It's still 48-47. I'm still in the range of tying things up here.
Nah, you're not. I'm going to score today.
Oh, okay. He's confident. It's your turn to go first, so let's hear it. Also, Marcus agreeing with you, saying Lakers versus Thunder is top pick today.
Thank you, Marcus. I think I'm going to go with the Kirk Cousins signing. Vegas Raiders.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, Vegas Raiders.
You know, Fernando Mendoza did have his pro day, so like,
yeah, I think it all
kind of
ties
plays
together.
a little bit into that. Okay,
It's
interesting.
a perfect situation for Mendoza to have Kirk Cousins as his backup quarterback. That's his open.
You don't think he leads with Audie Crooks as entering the transfer portal?
No, I don't.
Wemby did have 40 again.
I know.
Wemby did have 40 again, but like
we're getting close to draft time.
It feels like NFL is the lead. Wemby, me not taking Wemby here as the second pick feels like I should. You know what I think I'm going to take though? Okay, I think I'm going to go with a Puka Nacua lead. I think a Puka Nacua lead might be in play here. He did a Jaden Ivey rant the other day. Maybe he's just kind of in on like the guys that are going through it right now.
Yeah, weirdos.
Just talking about those guys.
It's not
so. That's what I'll go with. I don't feel super confident in it.
Yeah, Puka Nacua, and then he's going to say something like, but the Rams are going to figure this out.
Yeah, but
they
Sean
always do.
McVay, he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't hate that. All right, that's going to do it for us today. 100.9 The Mitt. Search us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever it is. Like and subscribe. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
The Ben Bosscher